Hello. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of this Ghost Saltmarsh. With me, your dungeon master, Ian. That's it. I don't got a last name. Don't worry about it. My last name actually is Dungeon Master. Ian Dungeon Master. Full thing. Got the birth certificate and everything. Uh, anyway, these gentlemen around me are your players, your heroes, your adventuring party for the evening. And what? You got something to say?
So what was your dad's full name?
Michael Dungeon Master.
Okay.
John Michael Dungeon Master. That's it.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, don't ask questions. Don't worry about it, man. Yeah, John Michael Dungeon Master. Anywho, okay. Oh yeah, y'all are all in here in the music already. The music's picking up. Perfect. Anywho, as said, these gentlemen around me are your heroes, your party, your resident ne'er-do-wells, whatever your preferred terminology for your D&D players is. I guess it depends on your table, but that's fun. And we're here to play another episode. We're close up. I'm pretty sure next week will be our 1-year anniversary for Saltmarsh.
Oh yeah.
Huzzah.
This is episode what, 51?
51, yeah, 52.
Yep.
52 weeks will be next week. So hell yeah. We'll have ran this campaign every week for 1 year without a single break. So nobody fuck up next week, please. I'd like to at least.
Not to say anything on
I'd like to make it through our 1 year at least if we can. But anywho, that being said, we are still working on our stuff for our charity thing. We're looking at some prospects since our Extra Life charity ended after being active for 1 year at the end of this last December. So we'll keep everybody updated with that. And aside from that, if anybody else has any announcements they would like to say, I know we're coming up next month on a birthday, but that means that's not quite here yet. I don't know if Jones, if you have used your birthday 20 yet, so
I've not.
you still have yours until next month.
I do.
And then you'll still only have one because
Right.
they don't carry over. So be thinking, be watching, be waiting. All right. I've plans within plans. Good. Glad to hear it. Anywho, last week on the Ghost of Saltmarsh, our intrepid adventurers proceeded to flee very swiftly, for the most part, from the castle of the Sahuagin, their fortress, coming out from underneath, some battered, some very, very bruised, some on the cusp of death, but getting up and away from pursuers on the lower levels, getting up to the second level, taking a brief stop when they heard some chanting through a set of double doors that sounded like, oh, maybe there's something going on here, taking a quick peekaroonie, breaking open a stick of haste on Gloob's part so he could slap real fast, except real quiet because, boots of elvenkind, before trying to dispel a seemingly magical ritual being performed by the Sahuagin, or by some Sahuagin priests within. Not sure whether he actually stopped it or not. They, however, aggroed upon our party, chasing them up and out. Not really too much damage being done, aside from Julian loosing a couple arrows towards the priests. The Sahuagin just couldn't quite keep up with our party as they made it back to the front porch of the Sahuagin fortress, finding there that, more or less, as far as they could tell, all of the prisoners that they had rescued / encouraged to rescue themselves earlier on during this escapade, and using their stick of dark path to create a shadow bridge between the front porch of the fortress as well to the causeway where it had been broken away when the fortress was sank. They escaped. At the same time, a force of rangers from Burl had been keeping an eye out, ready and waiting to begin their own assault as soon as and a way was made for them. So trading places, the Rangers going immediately into battle with the party's pursuers. The party retreated, found themselves back in the Ranger camp, and took themselves a little bit of a rest, getting some HP back, getting some resources back if they had those that they could get back on a short rest, taking care of those the sick and injured, as well as some of the rangers who were injured themselves there within the camp. They came out victorious. Their forces, the allied forces of the people's allied forces against Sahuagin. I can't remember we ever settled on an official name for that, but that's okay. Julian, watching as this occurred through the eyes of his familiars, they then got a little bit of a montage of who did what and how everyone fared. The leader of the Lokatha perished in battle, bravely standing firm. Was it from Gloob's prodding? Who knows? But he died in the line of duty, and his people did their part. Oceanus and his father Myrtilon, along with Myrtilon's private guard, did battle with the Maw of Sokola within the ocean, most of the guard perishing and Myrtilon losing an arm, but ultimately emerging victorious, destroying this vessel of Sokola. And what awful, evil things it would bring upon everybody. The remainders of the Koalinth and Sahuagin forces retreating deeper into the ocean to be pursued at a later date, or hopefully to just never be seen again. Our party spent an evening drinking and carousing, celebrating their victory, where Bart was greeted by a very elderly elderly halfling by the name of Eldon Barrowstone, who seems to similarly be a devotee of Sorolali, promising him that he would be seeing him and requiring his assistance tomorrow. And to remember, tomorrow. Bart committed to this. Jakob tried to make a wooden shark while whittling, to varying success. It's the thought that counts. His daughter thinks it looks like a shark. That's what matters to Jakob. Julian telling some stories and Gloob paying his respects to the fallen. That is where we are going to bring ourselves back. The morning after these festivities, you all waking up wherever it is you found yourselves, and at the end of last night with a long rest, very, very much earned. Gentlemen.
So we get a long rest?
Yeah, you get a long rest.
Oh,
Spell slots back,
yeah.
HP back, half your HD back.
It's been 97 years. Right? Holy shit.
Chris is
Oh my
weirdly
goodness.
large. Christopher, why is your camera so big?
Oh, man.
Give me all them spell slots. You know, when you can't just take the long rest button, you just gotta like manually give them all back one by one, so you appreciate them more.
I don't like the long rest button. It always seems to fuck up my max HP.
Yep.
Same.
I had to write down my max HP because it reset it.
I think we might just be stupid and we're doing D&D Beyond wrong somehow, but
you
whatever.
have to click the button to take the long rest that says reset max HP changes during this rest.
That's dumb. Anyway.
I don't remember how much max HP I had. It says 60 right now, so
Sure.
I hope that's right. Who knows?
If
I feel
only,
like
if
it was
only,
like 63, but I don't know.
if only there was like a digital source that you could use that would keep track of this kinds of
I
things.
I do believe you
Anywho.
were at 63 because I remember saying you were one above me.
There you go. I trust you all. Figure your shit out. I don't give a fuck. Anywho, coming to the morning, y'all know that there's a bit of a march ahead to return back to Saltmarsh. Or to elsewhere, depending on who you're traveling with, I suppose. What would you like to do this morning?
Take like a good 15 minutes to get out of bed. It's kind of old man grunts and moans.
Ah!
When you stop moving them, all them aches just come back. It's just might have got healed, but boy, it still hurts to get the shit kicked out of you over and over within 24 hours.
You'll also see Jakob, eyes open, just lying, staring into the sky, not moving.
It's funny you say that because I was about to say the exact same thing for Julian. So you just See your peers just kind of laying there.
You
Dude,
may
just
get a small
slumped.
fright in the morning as Gloob is belly up in his tub. He just looks like a dead frog floating in his tub for a moment.
Yeah, I'll probably fucking Pillsbury Doughboy with it.
Ow. Ow.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Just gonna walk away.
Oh. Well. What do we see around us? Is are the camps starting to get together and starting to move out?
Yeah,
or is everybody just-
everybody's getting up and about at this juncture. You see a lot of hungover soldiers and mercenaries, just and some lizard folk mixed in, and some sea elves. Just kind of those that could stay on land for that long are about. But they're getting up and moving, starting to separate. You got superior officers yelling at, rank and file to, get it moving. And it looks like they are functioning. They may not like it, but they've probably done this before. They're pretty used to just gritting their teeth and bearing it, but they're starting to break down the camp. Looks like things are starting to get moving. They had their victory. They had their celebration of victory as well as celebration of the dead, and are preparing to move back towards home and some proper homecomings and sendings off.
Yeah, Bart will probably sort of get together and make a quick breakfast after getting his spells prepared, and burn a well, probably won't burn a first level spell slot today. There's plenty of people that probably need a lot of them good berries, so he'll just make some regular old toast with normal preservatives. Somehow feel a lot more lighter than they usually do.
All right.
But in contrast, he'll make like a loaf worth of it, so everyone has like four pieces of toast. He just overcompensates entirely. Y'all don't want any of it. I mean, I'm sure plenty of other people want some toast.
Okay.
Them preserves, they're peaches. They're about a year old, and they're pretty good. They're nice and aged and everything. Yeah.
While you're sitting around eating / making your toast, a liver spotted halfling hand just reaches over your shoulder and picks up one. Good, you made breakfast.
Yeah, help yourself.
I will,
Go on
thank
right
you.
ahead.
No dilly-dallying. Come, Mr. Goodmeadow. Let's go.
Wait, yeah, well, it was fair
Hey,
but
turns
alright,
around,
let's-
is already walking away. Stick.
Just
Hurry up!
Getting
Come on!
back up.
You're supposed to be young and spry.
I'm almost
Come on!
died a few times. Give me a break. Just get my stuff together and head on after him. Just kind of shrug to the rest of the party, like I have no fucking clue where I'm going.
Just get like a bleary look from Julian, just like.
So, you follow Barrowstone?
Yeah.
Alright. So, you go off. We'll continue with what he's doing here in a minute. Is there anything else the rest of you guys would like to be doing here at this very beginning of the morning?
I would like to try to find a stick or some type of wood and try my hand at whittling again. And try to whittle myself a frog.
Alright. You can certainly try. Straight dex. D20 plus dex.
It's better. 14.
14. Okay. Alright, that's not bad. It's by no means like professional levels, but you whittle like it's one of the, it looks kind of like a little, like how big are you trying to make this thing, out of curiosity? like a sizable little frog.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have it, and it looks like one of those where the feet are all, it's like straight edges and stuff, but the shape is there. It looks like it's supposed to be a frog. And it's like, okay, I see that. Like you look at it and you go, oh yeah, that's a frog. All right. Just a lot of no like immaculate like detail work, but it's definitely there.
All right.
Blue will eventually get up and wash his nice clothes off and put them on, and walk up to one of the rangers. Has the base been completely cleared out yet?
Oh, they did a sweep all the way through, I believe, yesterday. Yesterday afternoon.
Everything out of.
As far as I'm aware.
I mean, unliving too, objects and the like.
I believe they swept up all the valuables they could find to kind of compensate the town and, you know, the fallen to, you know, families and stuff. You know,
that's fair.
Recoup what they could.
Okay. Might go take a look in there. Julian, what are you doing? You have anything planned? I don't know what we're gonna do without Bart around, so I'm just gonna go walk around down there.
When you first speak to him, he kind of starts. He was just kind of sitting there a little, probably just tired, fiddling with his coin. Looks up. I didn't really have plans.
Well, come on.
Sure.
Not gonna
Pushes
be
himself to his feet.
Could potentially, I don't know, have hidden things in there. Like, I don't know, Swaggin potentially laying in wait for anybody to come back. I don't know.
Well, I think
Just
we'll
be careful.
Okay. We will.
Yeah.
If
Julian,
anything happens, swim out of there with the quickness. But I trust these guys.
As he gets up and walks over, Julian just kind of rolls his shoulders, reveling in not wearing armor for the first time in several days. And will follow you.
All right.
We'll walk down into the Swaggin base. Just sort of, I'm sure mostly everything's been turned over and flipped over at this point. Things of note that I would like to pick up if there's nothing that we need to roll an investigation check for or anything like that, but things that I would want to grab are the blunted trident head from that door, and the Mauve Secola marker on the table, if that is still intact.
Okay. So what I'll have you do is I'm just going to have you roll, as you're just kind of looking around the place as a whole, if you guys can either individually or one of you can roll with advantage an investigation check for me. Or is it just you going down there? I'm sorry, I couldn't remember if Julian said he was going down or not.
Yeah.
You are going? Okay, that's what I thought the pair of you were going. So either one each or one with advantage.
I'll give Julian advantage.
Okay. Julian, if you want to roll with advantage for me.
Julian seems distracted for a moment while he doesn't get his dice out, but prepares himself for the task at hand.
Well,
And this was Julian, this was the morning you woke up after your dream, woke up with your coin in your hand. Like from wherever it had been previously, just you woke up with it kind of like wet in your hand.
Yeah, that certainly wasn't why he looked distracted earlier. Yeah, I'll go ahead and roll that. With advantage, it is a natural 20 followed by an 8 for a total of 23.
All right. Let's see here. So we'll just kind of get a little... Okay, so sweeping through the entire base, aside from you do find the blunted head of the trident, you do find the little figurine that was being used to represent the Maw of Secola. In addition, you guys find in bits and pieces where it had just gone unnoticed or had gotten up under stuff, an additional 40 gold pieces, 110 silver pieces, and an additional 40 copper pieces as well.
What were those numbers one more time?
40 gold, 110 silver, 40 copper.
And since I didn't want to break the narrative last time, I did not ask how many of the Sahuagin chief's coins or Sahuagin general's coins we had that we got off of his body.
Okay, yeah, if I recall,
You just said a bag of mixed coins.
a bag of mixed coins. Since you've had the time to count it, this structure, 1 second. Where's that sheet? There it is. So that was going to come out to be about 10 platinum pieces, an additional 25 gold pieces, and 15 silver.
Noted, noted.
As we're walking through, I would have noticed you. So at least at the beginning of the camp, I don't know if Julian, would have continued through the base while we were flipping the coin around and mention it to you. Does that mean something to you?
Yes.
What is it?
That's the fun part. I'm not really sure.
How does that work?
The time that I should have died, I woke up with it. It's old. Seems religious, or at least foreign. Bart doesn't recognize it. No one I've spoken to has. So I'm not sure.
To do anything?
So far, it's just been old and featured in some strange dreams. But whatever it was that saved my life, it's connected for sure now.
Have you been having
Wasn't
bad
so
dreams
sure
too?
before. What was that?
Have you been having bad dreams too?
If they're dreams. Not bad per se. You.
Me, what?
Dreams.
Yeah. Ever since we left the forest.
Kinda yours.
Not good. I think
Julian kind of like pulls him off to the side at the nearest like set of boxes or whatever to take a seat.
I feel like we're just like wandering around this empty dungeon, just like chilling and talking. Maybe
Yeah.
underwater at some points, just like
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, and
But,
then like after you mention that, like kind of stops his wondering and kind of settles on a box or a table or something.
This is gonna sound weird.
I know weird, so let's hear it.
Whenever the Oni died, I was in a weird place with what had just happened in Saltmarsh. And I threatened her. I threatened Granny Nightshade through the Oni, and I think she heard it.
I would say that's on the foolish side of bravery.
Yeah.
So you think that and your dreams are connected?
I don't know who else would. They're not just dreams. I wake up tired the next day from all the running that I've done in the dreams. I have to run from it. I have to run. The next day I can't. I feel that pain from running. My legs are tired. I'm sore. I don't know. I thought maybe you might be having those dreams too.
Mine are not malevolent. I think mine are from whatever helped me out.
Like a sky people, like Bart talks to.
Not exactly. Something deep in the ocean, maybe. Definitely hungry. Like, use prestidigitation to do whatever small, harmless version of the tendrils he summons. I've told you before I couldn't always do this. I was a fisherman. And I didn't always sound like this. He kind of like tugs his coiled scarf down to show off the ragged scar across his throat. The reason this didn't kill me is the same reason for this, I imagine.
Does it scare you?
Hell yeah. It scares the shit out of me. I'm a fisherman, not a sorcerer or anything like that. But less so than it used to. The last few years were rough.
Not a fisherman anymore.
I still am. But that's not all I am anymore.
Right. I guess you can't leave everything behind.
I wouldn't want to. It's a good life. I'd like to return to it someday. I'm not sure if it's good or bad or just is what it is. But for what it's worth, the path led me here. You, Bart and Jakob. That's good at least, I think.
Yeah.
And he kind of reaches over and gives you a kind of one of the camaraderie pats on your shoulder, a little double tap. And we're here for you, whatever's in your dream. As less friendly as it may be. You may be running, but we'll be there with you.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. It's hard to fight a dream.
We'll see. Let's see what there is to see around here. Kind of stand himself up and start looking around, kind of doing his best to drag Gloob out of what seems to be a little bit of a doom spiral.
We'll just keep searching around this place.
Okay. So, taking y'all's time and looking around, like I said, y'all find the evidence, or not the evidence. Y'all find this money that y'all found, as well as the blunted trident and the figurine for the Mavsicola. In addition, somewhere in one of the rooms on the second floor, you'll find a small hidden entrance that goes into a closet-shaped room that, I say closet-sized room, not very deep, not very big. It doesn't seem to have much in it. There's some like water-rotted remains of some sacks and some other things in there. Not very much. A small room. Not sure of its original purpose, but it was there. In addition, you find down in the room where you found the blunted trident, still kind of propped open, a larger hidden room that appears to have been ransacked. Had a large chest in the middle, but nothing currently residing within it. Kind of in the back, as well as some sacks and things that appeared to have been used to obscure the chest before it was discovered, but nothing in it at this time.
You know, he's talking about paying back the people of Saltmarsh and all for their... But some of this might not have been the Swahagans. Some of this may have been the lizard folk. They should get a shot at it.
Definitely something worth asking.
For those just that closet-sized room, couple
Yep.
of sacks there, are there any are there remains, or is it just like tattered clothing? What is it?
It at this point it looks like it is rotted and within the water. It was stuff that wasn't supposed to be underwater, presumably, at least not for a long period of time. It may have been the remains of clothing. It may have been the remains of like food, maybe like wheat and stuff. You're not quite certain, but it was in there. It may have been like an emergency store, like a just in case, kind of like a go bag kind of deal.
Right.
But it looked like it had been kind of ruined by its time spent underwater.
Right. I suppose that'll take at least a couple of hours, so...
Yeah, that'll take y'all a couple hours. The army will probably have just started to move by the time you guys return, but with the pace that they are forced to move at, as big of a force as they are, and especially now being slowed down by transporting the dead or wounded, that is easy enough for you guys to catch up as just two individuals, especially those that are at this point pretty well versed in traversing these marshes.
Got a question for you, DM.
Yes, sir.
Being set in this setting, I imagine there's superstitious or like village style remedies for bad dreams and warding off curses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whatever Julian would know, either from his father, from his wife, or whatever, for like village remedies for warding off bad dreams or evil spirits or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like herbs or a dream catcher style thing.
Yeah, it'd probably be kind of like a dream catcher style thing, but as a fisherman with your, your father's superstitions and stuff, it'd probably be like a collection of different like things from the sea itself, like maybe a particular fish's bones, some like a seaweed that splits in two in the middle but remains together at the stalk, like comes up from the base and splits by itself. Not terribly uncommon, but uncommon enough that it seems symbolically significant and stuff like that.
Before they head back, Julian will do a little searching around for whatever ingredients for this bundle or dream catcher or whatever.
Sure.
I don't know if that'll be like a
just roll a survival
perception
check
or
for me.
survival or what.
Yeah, just roll a survival check for me as you're going. Because it's just a collection of things that fishermen consider good luck, more or less.
Yeah, 22 to collect and craft a fisherman dream catcher.
Easily enough. You can get some bits of bones that appear to be the right ones, and flora that is of the sea that fits the criteria. And you just kind of weave them together. It's not exactly just like a regular dream catcher. It's more of kind of like a, you know how you have a, what is it called? A mobile for babies?
Mm-hmm.
That it's up and
Right.
it is on the stick, and then it's these things, and they're just kind of drifted down. It's like in a cross section where you have different things kind of hanging from the ends of each stick, as well as a couple on the in-between and one on the intersection of the sticks in the middle. You know, that people will tend to like hang it above their beds or by their bedsides when they sleep.
Yep, so that is what Julian is doing with his walking part of the day, is
True.
assembling that in whatever the correct.
Yeah. Using like little
Normal
bits of
whatever.
string to kind of tie it all together and attach bits and
I got
bobs.
plenty of fishing string. Let's go.
Yeah. Plenty. Easy enough to accomplish as you guys walk along. And you may have to take some time after you guys return to the camp, but definitely a process you can have finished by the end of the day.
Awesome.
All right. So, Jakob, was there anything you were wanting to do while they were gone? Aside from carve your frog.
Just look around and
Mhm.
I don't know, see if anybody needs help with anything, like breaking down the camp.
Oh, yeah. If you start offering, 100%, people will put you to work.
All right.
They have no issues. Lift
Ooh,
heavy
what's
shit.
this?
Yeah,
Free
basically
labor?
like, oh, you want to work? Fantastic. And immediately, like, carry this log, carry this table, carry all of these different, like, all just various eccentric shit. Easy enough to be done.
All right.
Bring us back to Bart, as you were taken off by Eldon at the top of the
Indeed.
morning. So Eldon takes you to, while they're breaking down, they are still leaving for the sick and wounded. As he takes you to the tents where they are being kept, and takes you on in there. Might want to take off the armor. Easier to work. Not as hard on the
Yeah,
eyes.
Come again?
Not as hard on the eyes.
Yeah, I can take it off.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Good.
Yeah, I'll slowly take my armor off and just kind of. I mean, what's this all about? I mean, obviously we're going to help these people because that's what needs to get done. But
Yes.
I mean, who? I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are either. That's what I want to know.
Okay.
Anyone who follows Our Lady is good. But I want to get the measure of you. Come. And
All right.
he takes you, once you've kind of gotten your armor off, into this tent with the sick and the wounded. And he pulls out from his own bag. He has like a messenger bag kind of deal, pulling out clay pots and jars and ointments and poultices and bandages and things, and just kind of like hands them off to you. And for the next, unless you just quit, basically for the day, including after they start moving, and is tending to them in the carts, puts you to work and observes as like tending to them. And not just magically, like, for the most part,
Yeah.
he's relatively insistent upon you treating them by hand. Using the bandages, the poultices, changing their bandages, fetching them water, fetching them, broth for the more gravely wounded who can't ingest much more than solids. And as you're doing that, he works with them in tandem with you, and it is really odd. Because with how he is with you, this cranky old crotchety man softens like immediately.
Well, we might butt heads a little bit if he's gonna not allow me to pop some good berry goodness on people who are like seriously wounded. Because
Right.
if he's gonna be like, no, don't use magic, I would probably have to butt heads with him a little bit to be like, I'm gonna help these people, whether it meets your approval or not.
Right. Yeah. For the most gravely injured, sure. Natural, better for those that can afford it.
Right? No, I agree.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I will not let anybody die. I will not have that.
All right. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yes. But observing him, it's very odd. It's like he turns grandfatherly in an instant, kind of patting hands and just telling tales of like when he was young and his grandchildren, and you remind me so much of my youngest great grandson. He was a bit hot-headed too, and just going on, and from person to person, immediate swap back to you. What are you doing?
Can
Hurry
I
up!
insight check him on some of these to see
Sure.
if he's like full of shit? Like, does his grandson change completely over the course of the day or anything like that?
Roll an insight check for me.
Yeah. Okay. 26.
26?
18 plus 8.
It seems like this dude is really old, and
He may
he
have a lot
never.
of kids.
Yeah, it looks like he's probably just has a really big family. Like, because
Okay,
he
fair
talks
enough.
about grandsons, granddaughters, great grandsons.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, and maybe there's some stuff that he may be tailoring a little bit to kind of apply to each individual, but for large and in part doesn't seem to be outright lying ever.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I just didn't know if he was
Yeah.
throwing any like bedside manner fibbing in there or anything
Oh.
like that.
it whatever seems like heavy bedside manner, but mostly in like using life experience and truth to kind of
Right.
calm and soothe as you guys go about.
Okay.
He works you like that basically the whole day. And
If it's not on a boat and it's not marching, Bart's glad to do it.
And you'll like he watches you when you're doing this, like you've same way you observed him and how he's interacted with these individuals. He kind of does the same for you, just kind of watching, observing, kind of taking it all in. Never comments outside of like sicking you to a one task or another, but never seeming to critique or question or direct when you are actually doing the work.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really perturbed by this guy. I mean, there's probably plenty of old people that I had to deal with being in a small community like the one that I grew up in, so I'm probably used to having people boss you around well into triple digits.
Right. And you probably couldn't pin exactly. He's an old guy. he looks old even for a halfling. So, but he'll work you like that for the rest of the day and kind of end it off with, good. I'll see you again tomorrow. And
Sure.
leaves.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of goes off like, good work.
You want some more food? I mean, I'm gonna be cooking some more tonight.
All right. I'll see you
All right.
here in a bit.
You staying anywhere? I mean,
I have a tent.
all right. I was just offering you. We got a little boat thing out here that we were held up on.
You have a boat? Y'all are
There's
not.
nothing
Y'all are
special.
not back at the lizard folk lair by this
Oh
point.
shit, that's right. We're not. Yeah. Like,
Where's this boat?
sorry. Yeah, I totally.
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said that.
Oh, okay.
Whoops. I don't know why I was
very
thinking
well.
we made it back already.
There are ways to go.
Well, when we get back, you can hang out on the boat.
All right. Good.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can talk over food. It'll be all right.
Okay.
I'll see you in I don't know, half an hour or something.
Very well.
Okay.
Good work, Mr. Goodmeadow. Walks off.
Yep. Thank you. Same to you.
Indeed. All right. So, he shows up later, kind of on his carved walking stick. I assume all of you are present at this juncture.
What's up, friend? Is he a friend? Like to Bart?
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, he's another follower of Sorololi, and he's helped. The two of us helped heal a bunch of people today. We did a lot of good.
Yes.
I would, upon hearing that, I'd walk up to him and offer him my hand, say, "Oh, it's nice to meet you. Bart has been telling us all about Soroli, and he's definitely taught me a lot about her
Good.
and the other gods that y'all follow, and they seem mighty fine.
Our good lady does many good works. Yes. Just kind of looks at your hands for a second, just kind of sticks out his much smaller, gnarled old hand, just kind of shakes it. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Jakob McNoonfleebe. You can just call me Jakob. I know the last name.
Okay, good.
Is...
Good,
Yeah.
good. Yes.
But obviously any follower of Soroli is welcome to, be with us and eat.
I like him. Looks at you apart. Very respectful. Good.
Yeah, speaking of which, I mean, where are my manners? I'm over here busy cooking. I was going to properly introduce y'all, but mine's in too many different places at once these days. This is Gloob. He's an old friend of mine.
You're a frog.
You're old.
Yes, I am.
Both astute observations.
Julian kind of like looks away
Good.
from the mobile he's working on. Looks.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Your teeth and eyes.
Oh, I thought that was a response to Glenn
No.
calling him old.
No, that's you.
Probably a great many things.
Hmm?
Still working on the mobile.
You should pray more. Might help.
I play plenty.
Debatable.
Well, this is Julian and this is Gloob. They're
see.
both
Good.
real good fellas.
I would hope so.
Busy. We're busy. He says, walking off.
Goodbye. I don't
Jordan's
like
gonna
him.
go to like
He's-
whatever he
he's-
couldn't handle on the mobile on the road. He's gonna go actually do it with his like fishing tools and
What
stuff.
a rude young man.
What a rude old one. He's
What?
awful.
Shakes his stick. Oh, he will learn it.
He just shakes his face.
He just kind of shakes his stick at him as he
okay.
walks, but it's like, You'll learn in time.
And where did you come from? Are you from where Bart's
Many
from?
places. I don't know. Where are you from? Good Meadow.
I'm from Fairfurrow. I'm from Gilbin. A little bit.
No.
to the-
I'm not. No, I'm not from there.
Okay.
And where are you from?
From the north and the east. Different country. Lots of travel. Why are you so nosy?
I don't really know.
We've been dealing with a lot lately, and I mean, just war and all kinds
Terrible
of stuff.
thing,
so-
yes.
Right. So probably just a little bit kind of defensive about things here and there.
I see.
Don't mind them none. It's been a
Good.
couple of days, so.
I see. It seems like it. That is what we are here for. Our good lady opens her door to all.
Absolutely.
Good. It's good you're here then. What are we eating?
Well, with a total score of a 28, I mean, I'm probably trying to get something a little bit better than normal as far as like materials concerned. So I probably would have gotten like some of the good meats or something that it might be still chilling in the bag of holding or something like that. Or if there were any fresh kills or something like that. I imagine none of us want to eat any fucking fish right now.
What do you mean?
And even if we did, they probably wouldn't be like the best fishing. I mean, they could be really good fishing grounds or really bad fishing grounds, depending on which way you look at it. But yeah, probably some sort of like roast or something like that. Try to get some carrots and potatoes and that type kind of thing.
You're a good cook.
Well,
This looks wonderful.
right. I always kind of figured, kind of saw it as kind of a way of prayer with Soroli. Good cook, good
I
meal, can do a lot for anybody.
She did not bless me with such skill. tragic as it is.
No, you can learn. I can teach you a few things. Never too old to learn. By the way, how old are you?
200 and... I'm not sure past that.
All right, so just 200 plus. That's pretty
Yep.
out there.
I have been around for a while. What? What?
Right. Nothing.
How old are you?
Me?
Yes?
I'm
I'm
just
self-conscious.
I'm only in my 60s.
Oh,
I'm still young.
young whippersnapper.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Get plenty of work out of you while you're here with me. What about you, Frog? Gloob, I believe your name was.
No, just like, oh, he can remember his name. One syllable.
Am I getting hazed?
It's actually just the sound of him like bubbling up some food while he was speaking. Gorm. He just happened to get it right. 16. 17 soon.
Wow. I'm still a child.
Not a child.
Yes, you are. 16.
No.
Not even 2 decades. It's very young. Oh. Not all so long-lived. Whatever.
He's saying over this, and Gloob's just having a midlife crisis.
Where aren't you? Big guy?
Oh, you can just call me Jakob. I'm about 30.
30?
I mean, I am 30.
Human, that's about still pretty young. I see. All right. But you're very young. What about the pointy teeth?
Pointy
The
teeth
rude
is
one.
gone.
Yeah. I'm
You
not
didn't
talking
come
to
back
you.
for food? No, he said he was going to work on the mobile
Yeah.
with his tools and stuff.
I'm not talking to him. How old is he?
Oh,
Hard to judge.
I think he's about Yakka's age, maybe a little
I see.
around that area.
You would think he'd have grown out of it by now. Oh well.
He just gets grumpy sometimes.
I see.
A lot of things have happened.
Life tends to happen that way. Well, thank you for the food. I'll see you in the morning. Good night.
Sure, but yeah, good night.
Indeed.
I mean, you're welcome to enjoy friendly conversation if you like. You don't have to leave right offhand.
I have things to do. Goodbye.
You eat, all right.
Stump, 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 stump.
Nice meeting you.
Art, what the fuck was that?
I have no idea. I mean, he was an old guy. You know as much as I do. We worked 10 hours today, and I know all about his family, but I don't know a damn thing about him. And he's got a big family. I mean, I thought I had a pretty big family compared to people, but this guy more than your fingers and toes. My finger, not your my fingers and toes.
Oh god.
How old do halflings live till?
Usually not past 200. I mean, he's old. He'd be old enough that I'd be worried about him traveling between, Gilbin and Saltmarsh. But apparently he came a lot longer, so there's got to be something to him.
That's rather impressive.
Do you think he's one of those things from the island? Those shambling things?
No. I don't think he's one of those.
Kind of looks like him.
Yeah, wrinkles will do that to you. I'm starting to get them around. I'll look like him one day.
Soaking a bucket of water every night. That's pretty good for me.
It's not wrong. I mean, look at him.
Well, I mean, I looked that good when I was 16 too. I mean, come on.
I didn't.
I'm kidding.
Poor Jacob.
I could never meet your good looks, Gloob. I don't aspire to such avenues of. Yep.
He's a
Triple.
interesting fellow.
Yeah, he seems. I mean, he was helping folks. Fine. I mean, he was good. He was nice to him.
So we're sticking around again tomorrow?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, the war's kind of over. I mean, should probably talk to Firebrand at some point to find out what the heck's going on with everything.
Oh yeah, I got this thing. Bring out the trinket for the Maw of Sokola from the table. I figured we'd probably give it to like Oceanus' dad, Mirtalon or something.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I think he'd like that a lot. That's a good thinking.
Yeah. Sounds like a good.
What time is it?
By now, probably like getting into the evening, like the camp stopped and set back up, so probably like somewhere, and y'all have eaten, so probably closing in on 9 p.m.
Okay.
So we're traveling.
Yeah, they started the day, been traveling. It's it's slow going with the size of the forces and everything, but I mean y'all are moving.
Nice.
Okay. Hell, I don't even know if the sea elves or anything would have been with us at this point, or they've all fucked off.
How much healing do you think I used throughout the day, DM?
A little over probably half of your spell slots, just for serious injuries, soothing, hurts, that kind of thing.
Okay. I will.
Because y'all were working like in conjunction with other medics and things, so
Okay.
some that are less gifted magically, but are still they've got a little bit of juice in them somewhere, but not nearly as much as you do. And I'll say he didn't cast a single spell the entire day. He did not seem to work any magic.
Okay. Can I cast detect magic on him retroactively to see if he's magic at all?
I don't see why not.
Sure.
So you just kind of try to surreptitiously cast detect magic.
I'll do it plainly.
You'll just kind of
bing. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say.
I'm not trying to hide it. I mean, I've been casting spells this whole time.
8d6 psychic damage about to hurt.
Shit.
He doesn't seem to notice you doing this like as out of the ordinary. The only thing that pings on his entire person, aside from there seeming to be like some faint magic in some of the ointments and stuff that he uses, which that could be just alchemical more than anything else, or magical like herbs and things. Is there does seem to be a magic upon the scarf that he wears.
Oh, okay. All right.
I will say, just so we don't get past it, I think we're traveling to the lizard folk base right now, but past that, if we make it that far tonight, I would like to know when we get to about the edge of the Hull Marshes.
Sure.
On our way back to Saltmarsh.
To keep things moving along, we're gonna do a bit of we're gonna skip ahead a lot of time unless there's things that y'all would like to do, just to keep things from getting repetitive.
Okay.
At the end of that first night after the dinner with of course I've forgotten his name, Eldon. I'm gonna go off to the side to find, like, I don't know, an area where frogs would be, and just talk with my daughter. Nothing like too important, and show her the frog that I whittled. say, "Oh, here's another one."
That's a really good frog, Daddy.
Thank you.
It's very good. A little sharp, but
Yeah, I'm
it's
still
really
working
good.
on it.
Oh, okay. I like that one. It's kind of green. That one's a little blue. It just kind of continues on, pointing stuff out with you.
That's it.
All right, Julian, finishing up the mobile, little tiny.
And then that night when everyone's finished dinner, prepping to wrap up and head to bed for the night, I'll mount it on a spear or rake or literally anything else that is taller than the barrel. Get it to hang appropriately. All right, Gloom. See if this works.
What the hell is that thing?
It's supposed to ward off bad dreams. Dad taught it to me. Old fisherman's trick.
You having bad
Magic?
dreams, Gloob?
Yeah. Is that magic?
It's exactly the response you get.
Fuck if I know. It took me a long time to make those, so you're fucking sleeping under it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And just so I have a visual image, just like bones and seaweed and shit.
Just,
right?
it's like, yeah, a bunch of various
not
and sundry like
visually
bits.
pleasing.
No, not at all.
It's a mobile full of things that fishermen find protective and good
It's
luck.
like some Blair Witch project shit above.
It looks
my tub.
without any context. Yeah, it looks kind of creepy.
Okay.
And I was gonna make one adjustment to the mobile.
Sure.
To the primary cross piece or whatever. He was going to etch the same symbol that's on his coin on it.
Okay. All right, you do so.
Other than that, yeah. All right, Blue, sleep tight. Walks over back to his little bunk or whatever.
Okay.
If you're having bad dreams, might want to find you some honey or something when we get back to Saltmarsh. Something I always gave to my daughter when she was having bad dreams.
Okay. Yeah. Try that.
I mean, I got some honey if you want some. There's not a lot left, but I can spare it.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll help. I don't know.
What are you having problems with?
I'm just some bad dreams.
Oh.
Jakob said honey. Anyways, should we talk to Firebrand tonight before tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I'll just message him. I mean, we already got everything set up for camp, and I'm not gonna leave right now. I'm just sending a message and make things easy on everybody. About to go to bed anyway. Yeah, I'll send Firebrand a message.
Okay.
That'll be a short and sweet one.
Okay.
Well, we're coming home. What's the plan now?
A few moments later. Well, we have emerged victorious. So I imagine we'll put together some form of monetary reward for you and your friends. Some has already been settled between myself and Otho Kent.
That's it. It gets off.
Yep.
Well, I mean, he said that they're going to march home and they'll pay us.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I think you might have needed to say more, but I'm not going to use another spell on that in case, hell, I don't know. We've gotten attacked by bushes out in this damn swamp how many times?
Yeah.
Just gonna, no reason to go empty.
That reminds me, we should probably either put. Well, I still have the Covalent head, so we should probably either dip this in tar before put in the bag of holding.
It is
because
probably
it's getting,
very nasty already.
yeah, it's getting a lot of stares. Let's just say that.
Probably a
I
lot
will.
of
I will
wrinkled
have you know, if you
noses.
have a rotting, decapitated head with us, I'm not gonna fucking eat around that nasty, rotting thing. So wherever it is not within an immediate 15 feet of where we were eating.
Well, we'll try to find a barrel of tar if there's any
You're-
around the
you're-
camp.
I mean, probably somewhere.
Well,
You're tarring the head.
yeah, that's what you do with decapitated heads.
Sure. You get weird looks. People are like,
It's
what,
because it keeps it preserved.
what are you doing?
I don't know. We might need this something, proof of death, or
Why?
I don't know.
He seems pretty dead to me. Some random fucking soldiers like
Yeah.
witnessing this, like, okay.
The fact of the matter is that you've traveled a full fucking day, and just now you've decided to do that.
That's
Just like,
seems kind of unnecessary, but whatever.
I mean, this thing stinks to high heaven. What do you want me to do with it?
Get rid of it.
Well, we might need it. I don't know.
Okay. Just kind of.
The lizard folk might want it
Yeah.
after. I mean, is it even a betrayal, really? They didn't side with. That's sort
I'd
of
say
the
it kind of
separate
is. Yeah, I agree. And I don't like how that ended up happening.
Yeah.
whereabouts is their territory nearby? Does anybody know how that works on the map?
Everybody tells me they're just in the ocean. I've asked 3 people now where 3 different people are, and they just say in the ocean.
I've
Well,
gotten
I mean-
about the same response.
Yeah, they kind of had some semi beef, it seemed like, earlier, and if they got their butts kicked, you know, I don't know, lizard folk being, I mean, everything I know about lizard folk, aside from the way they look's been kind of different after, you know, meeting some of them, but, yeah, I didn't know if it was going to spark other conflicts or what the lizard folk were going to do from here on either.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Or the dragon. I forgot about the dragon.
Oh, dragon should be fine. We're well away from it now. The
Well,
lizard folk know about it, and I'm not eager to set up, you know, a restaurant in that temple. So as long as they stay away from it, that's good for everyone. If they decide to stake down claim to the place, then they're just gonna have to understand the black dragons in the area, and that's on them, I guess. They know. Hopefully they're not too stubborn about it.
We'll have to see what they say when we get there.
Yeah. Maybe they'll listen to us a little bit more since we helped them out so much along through it. Well, shit, we did kind of kill the, what was it, their prince?
Her son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They'll just let them do their thing, I reckon. That's probably for the best.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
just sitting there smoking. Nope. Nope. just like decides that he's gonna stay quiet like 3 or 4 more times, and then just actually stays quiet.
All right. Well, y'all's night passes easily enough. And so now here's what I'm gonna ask. We're gonna do some mostly fast forward. If there's things that you guys would like to be doing during this trip, feel free to shout out. Kind of cut in.
Julian will sleep coin in hand, thinking very protective thoughts, I guess.
Okay.
Just keep practice whittling.
Okay. So I will say, Bart, for the most part, Eldon comes and gets you most days. After some work, there are days off in parts where he doesn't come and get you, or specifically tells you like, not today. We must, let the poultries just settle and let them work. Just kind of letting the things do, and not bothering you for that day, seeming to have things that he would like to take care of on those days. And on 3 of those days, specifically, throughout various and sundry times, he approaches each of the 3 of the rest of you while y'all are doing whatever the fuck it is that you're doing. Jakob, some point when you're whittling, Gloob, when you're kind of peeking around the marshes, or whatever else. Julian, while you're reading, presumably, is what I'm assuming you're miming. He just kind of sets himself down or just stands, across from you guys, each of you, and asks you each the same question. Tell me about Bartholomew. And we're going to start with Gloob. Yes.
The not this day, but the day afterwards, I will prepare enhance ability, and before leaving, try to give it to Jakob so they can have a little bit more improvement in his whittling skills. So at least maybe the preliminary parts might crack on a little bit better. Give him a little bit more confidence to boost through over that hump.
But he says to you, Gloob,
that's it.
Tell me about Bartholomew. What you know of him? Your experiences with him?
Can I do an insight check on this guy?
Sure. Go ahead and
before I answer his question.
The instantly trusting sort.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll.
Not good. 3.
Out of curiosity, what were you trying to get out of it?
I want to see if he is malicious towards Bart in any way.
Humanoids are hard to read, man. You can't quite tell. He just seems like a crotchety old man to you.
Sit right here.
He's probably already sitting if you were sitting down. He's like, what?
Stay right there.
Why? Answer my question.
I will.
No, you won't.
I'm gonna walk over to Bart.
He goes, no, you won't. I will say he specifically approaches you when y'all are separate.
Gotcha. Okay. Slap my feet back over. What do you want? What do you want to know?
Just tell me about him. Whatever comes to mind. What is important about him to you? What seems most relevant?
Bart's the best person I know.
Really? Why?
He saved my life. Didn't have to.
Continue.
He's been nice to everyone. Not had to. He has watched out for everyone and not had to. He's kept everyone alive. He hasn't had to. No one's made him do it. Bart teaches me how to be better.
Just kind of slowly nods.
And he's forgiven me when I've done not good things. Bart's just good. No, Bart's the best.
Thank you. Kind of slowly stands up, walks away. Julian. Similar concept. You're sitting reading. This old fucking crotchety halfling comes walking up to you. Shark teeth. Tell me about Bartholomew. Kind of sits, kind of right next, not quite right next to you, but kind of facing you.
He's a good man. Why do you ask?
Why is he a good man?
Does his best to help people.
Really?
Why do you ask?
Like how?
Why do you ask?
Just answer the question.
You answer the question.
We serve the same lady.
You follow Cerulli.
I can say
Yes.
that because Julian's not familiar with any trappings.
He just kind of
Cerulli.
looks down at the
Other than
symbol
what
of
Lark
Cerulli
wears.
in the center of his chest on the on his
Oh, is
scarf.
it particularly prominent, or
Yeah.
I thought it was just like
It is arranged
oh.
in such a way that there is a large like open doorway
okay.
on the center of his chest.
Okay, so like,
Yes, that's why you should know the answer to your question already.
There are many who claim to follow many.
And she works through them, false though they may be.
No. They claim their powers come from her or others. They are false.
As benevolent as the miracles I've seen him perform are, they either come directly from Cerulli, or one as good as. Cruel gods don't sanction such wonderful acts as he has performed.
That is why I asked for detail. Things you have seen, boy.
What are you, his auditor?
Man, just an old man.
he's still just like looking at his book, only occasionally side-eyeing the halfling.
He's kind of nods himself and says, very well. And gets up and walks away. Jakob. Sitting there whittling. You had a really good start this morning. You were really feeling it this morning for a while, and you kind of lost it somewhere along the line, but whew, really solid foundation today. But amidst that, Eldon Barrowstone approaches, kind of plops himself down opposite you. So, big guy, tell me about Bartholomew.
Well, I mean, what do you want to know about him? A lot to tell.
The stuff that matters to you.
Oh. I mean, there's a lot of things. Before I met Bard, a lot of bad things happened to me, and I turned to drinking, and somewhere along the line got a little too attached. And Bart was able to guide me through it without judgment, without. I mean, he was tough, but he wasn't cruel or anything like that. He was always kind. He was always made sure that I was all right. And he's always made sure that everybody, not just the three of us, but everybody is all right. It's always been kind to him. Never said a word edgewise. He's just overall really, really good guy. And I mean, he's convinced me to look into y'all's religion. And not a lot of people can do that. Not one of the types that, I don't know, loves the more, let's say, zealous approach some carry towards religion. But the things Bart's done is I'll say pique my interest. Well enough.
I see.
Gotta say, if it's the religion y'all follow that make y'all so nice and fine and I don't know righteous, then I definitely would be interested.
I see. Thank you.
And of course.
Stands and nods at you and is hobbling off away. All right. Anything specific anybody would like to be doing as y'all go along?
Julian will probably ask Gloob about his dreams at least once.
Okay.
Like the day after he set it up, like, how'd you sleep?
Anything? Nothing.
No visits as of yet.
Fine. No bad dreams.
Excellent. Feeling very satisfied with himself, he will go about his day. And then the day after being interviewed by the old halfling at dinner with Bart, he'll be like,
Hey Bart, that old man was asking questions about you. It was really weird.
Okay. What kind of stuff was he asking?
Got real pushy about what kind of a person you were. Or tell me about Bartholomew.
doing his best to like mimic the old man's voice in his voice. Hey, I can't do a voice while doing this, alright?
Oh wow! You just hear it off in a distant echo.
Yeah, that,
Yes.
All right. I mean, sure. I guess he's kind of nosy. Not a big
yeah,
deal. Though.
like really nosy. What does he even do?
He seems to be helping out. His heart's in the right place. Might be kind of grumpy at times, but I mean, I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
that
true.
means any ill.
Has it been
He's
grumpy
doing
to
it.
y'all?
Hmm?
Seemed pretty nice to me.
Kind of a rude old fart.
Well, I mean, the past couple of times he's come to camp, I made sure your book was facing the other direction so he couldn't read the end of it. Might not be so kind on you if you knew what you were reading all this time.
Well,
Oh, talking about Jakob's smut.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't call it that, but I do appreciate that.
Just get like a hand thrown up and an eye roll from Julian, who absolutely thinks your book is smut.
Well, thank you, Bart. Something me and the old man agree on.
What's that?
Gestures over at the book.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, no offense, Jacob, but I think you're probably one of the only people that thinks that's a good education old book right there.
Well,
Anyway.
I do.
Thanks for dinner, Bart.
And
Yeah, I mean, anytime.
Julian will go and prepare for another luxurious camp sleep.
All right.
I, through the course of the trip, would like to attempt to whittle 3 things.
Sure.
I'd like to whittle a clenched fist with a lightning bolt right here.
Okay.
And I'd like to. I'd like to whittle 2 of those, and then another shark.
Okay. Which are you doing first?
The clenched fists. And if I mess those up, I would not. If I messed it up in any way, I probably wouldn't continue.
Okay. Roll with advantage a straight dex check. So just 2d20s, add your dex to the highest.
Wow. Yeah, that's not going to be good. That's a 7.
Even that's the one that you had where you had advantage for an hour, and even with advantage you were Didn't turn out so super hot. So roll a couple more d20s with me and add your dex to
All right.
each.
10, natural 20.
So the shark. The shark turns out really, really good. Both your Hieronius clenched fists looking a little rough. This is probably gonna have to go back to the drawing board for those.
Yep.
So, anything else anybody would like to be doing specifically for this first section of the journey back to Saltmarsh?
Do I ever come across the quartermaster again?
Probably so. He's around. Like,
I imagine I might need some extra odd and ends and need to kind of get along with him or meet up with him at some point to get maybe looking for different types of foods or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to
Gonna
Hey.
do it for you.
Need to get some onions. I'm out. You got any onions
Onions?
here?
I believe we got some onions. Yep. Should.
Whereabouts are they?
Pack plenty of them. You probably want to go down to wherever they got the tent set up for mess. You'll probably be able to get some. I don't imagine you need like a ton of them, right?
No, just a few.
Yeah, chefs should be able to help you out. Whoever's cooking today.
All right.
I don't have all of our stores here on hand. They're kind of kept a little separate. I got more of our like gear things, and we got our
I guess
provisions
so,
and stuff are separate. Yeah.
Okay. So how'd you do all right through everything?
I've done all right. I've kept doing my job.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you getting us those tools we needed.
Happy to help.
It's gonna stare at him hard.
And he just stared back like, what?
Is he just is he staring at me like I don't give a fuck, or is he just kind of staring at me like I don't even know what this is about? Who are you again?
Look, mostly the latter. He just seems to have completely forgotten.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. He's just gonna kind of leave.
Yep. All right. Now going.
You too.
Hey. All right.
Or that's it. He's not gonna do anything about it.
All right. Easily enough. If you actually needed onions, you'd be able to get some onions.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was just an excuse to talk to the quartermaster, but all right. So, fast forwarding a little bit over these days and having these conversations with Barrowstone and doing your whittling and whatever the fuck the rest of you that didn't specify you guys are doing, y'all arrive back to the lizard folk lair. Which, as y'all arrive there that evening, you know, it's the mumbles. For the most part, the alliance has been kind of moving in lockstep, both in the water and on land as they've moved back here. But y'all have kind of over the last few days have kind of it's gone around like the plan is to split apart here and hopefully there'll be some more meeting back up to within Saltmarsh at a later date between representatives and things to hammer out the last details of whatever they were going to do for restitution or splitting spoils of war and et cetera, et cetera.
All right.
So, and that evening, y'all receive a summons from Firebrand. Kind of meet him over in his command tent.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be happening. Once you got a little bit more stationary. Well, I guess let's do it.
All right.
Okay. So, make you guys over familiarly to the command tent, as where it seems a lot more relaxed now. Allowed in, of course, by the guards outside and inside. You have one Eleander Firebrand, one Manistrad Copperlocks, and one familiar Sub-Chief Croshneel. We're all just kind of making small talk amongst themselves on a table that doesn't have a ton of it's kind of devoid of maps and things. It seems to have some odds and ends piled onto it, like what appears to be some armor and some other trinkets. Gentlemen, well, I hope travelers found you all well. There's substantially less urgency to it on the return journey.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot more relaxing.
And y'all would notice, like, looks like healed up, but some markings of battle wear on all three individuals in there, of note anyway. But looks like the travel has treated them well in their recovery as well. So, I've summoned you all here, of course, to hopefully get the first bit of your reward out of the way. A little easier before we make it back into Saltmarsh, where things politically maybe get a little more complicated. I've been in communication with Queen Othel Kent and her representative here, Miss Sub-Chief Krashnir, is to be present for the distribution. There was a number of magical items and trinkets that were located within the lair itself. Some of them appeared to have been there before, that were abandoned, had to have been forced to have been abandoned by the lizard folk when they were forced out of their lair, and some appear to have been accumulated more recently. We have some back and forth between myself and the Queen. We have some to present to your persons to choose between for yourselves. The agreement was, aside from the monetary compensation you will receive from the Crown and the Council of Saltmarsh, once you return, each of you will be able to take one of these items which we are here to present to you today. Does this sound acceptable?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as long as we're not stepping on any toes. I mean, I don't want to take some sort of lizard folk heirloom and have someone soar over me.
Indeed, as I said, I've been in communication with the Queen, and not everything that was from within the fortress that was located is being put on the table here. There were negotiations, and you will not receive all of them, but you'll receive one apiece. So I've had some of my own mages give things a look over so we can determine what it is that each of them do, and what effects they may have in order for you to make the most informed decision that you may. So, shall proceed. Okay, let's everyone go well. So he just kind of waves you guys over to the table where he's got all this stuff. First thing that he holds up is a suit of, looks to be kind of very dark, almost black studded leather armor. Seems you can see, and there's kind of, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of engraved. I can't remember what the word is for when it's with leather, but it's not
embossed.
Embossed. There we go. There's embossed runes and some things in several places along its edges and on the inside near kind of the rib cage and stuff. And he holds this armor up. Well, this is some clearly magical leather armor. It's a bit sturdier than the regular sort. In addition, appears to be a few times a day when you are attacking a creature that has already sustained some damage, you can do a little bit of additional magical necrosis upon its person when you hit it. But you can do this a few times per day. May help you to whittle down an already injured foe, perhaps. Sets that off to the side. I'm losing my sheet. Pulls up a kind of a necklace that's on a kind of like gold and silver chain with a little red gem in the shape of a heart attached at the kind of the cusp. This necklace will, while on your person, if you are to fall in battle, it won't get you up and going again, but it will help prevent you from passing on to the other side, and makes some rest that you may have, be a bit more rejuvenated. sets that aside, and he pulls up a cloak that is this kind of dark, kind of sea blue within the underside on the top and on the outside, whereas on the inside is a much more light, kind of almost sky blue. That kind of fastens around the neck. This cloak will allow the user to, when you raise the hood upon yourself, to swim through the water with speed. Relatively simple, but can be quite useful, especially when you're doing work around these parts. Sets that to the side as well. Pulls out a pair of gold lion statues that seem to be kind of attached to each other on a base. These are a little more interesting. I'm wondering how they wound up down there, but regardless. These statues you can cause them to come to life for a small period of time, about an hour each. You could use them both simultaneously or one at a time, but after they have been summoned for that hour, they will return to their statue form and remain dormant for 7 days. So, but, incredibly fierce allies, if used correctly. And he pulls up what looks kind of like a drinking horn of this kind of yellowed, very old ivory that has a silver cap on the horn end as well as around the rim. The same silver going around the edge with kind of runes and some kind of script going around that edge. And it has a strap kind of leading from one end to the other where you could like fasten it onto a belt or onto a pack or something. This here could be, oh goodness gracious, I've lost my words for the description of this thing. I'm so sorry, gentlemen. You'll give me just a moment. The ink is muddled here that my mage gave me. You can use this drinking horn you could fill it with various and sundry liquids. Some of the more garden variety, ale, olive oil, as well as a potion of healing or a potion that could allow you to stick to surfaces and walk along them. It can only be used once per day, and whatever you summon into it will only remain good for about 24 hours. But could be quite useful. Has a helpful little leather cap on it that you can shut just in case you want to summon it and keep it in there for a while. Sets that aside. And the last thing he picks up is a pair of gloves that are this black, just shining, with the tips, the fingers seem to be almost kind of capped in a kind of silvery purple material that pull and then come almost all the way to the ends of your elbows if you're human sized, maybe a little longer if you're smaller. These gloves make you supernaturally agile, in some cases, allowing you to, if any arrows or the like, missiles, so if you were to try to snatch them out of the air to prevent them from hurting your person. But it can be quite useful if you're in the dangerous field of work that a lot of you are into. So, each of you have the pick of the litter of one apiece, and as the DM, I'm just going to tell you what these are if y'all are wanting to look them up real quick.
Right.
So, the first one is a hunter's coat, but studded leather because giving you +1 leather armor feels really like a kick in the nuts. So, hunter's coat for the armor, a periaptive wound closure for that necklace, a cloak of the manta ray for the cloak, figurine of wondrous power, the golden lions for the lion statuettes, a slumbering dragon vessel for the drinking horn, as well as gloves of missile snaring.
Well, it's like 9 o'clock right now. So should we
we can
think on these things?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take our break here. let our players kind of ruminate on which magical rewards they would like to take for each of them, and we'll be back here shortly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, continuing the ever so peaceful continuation of or in time of this combat heavy past month or so. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Bye. And welcome back. Hello. It's us again. This same night. We're here with after it was supposed to be a relatively short break, but there was a lot of debate about magical items. So last we left off, our heroes had spent some time journeying. Bart spending a lot of it with one Eldon Barrowstone, assisting with the sick and the wounded, and just generally helping out and doing as Soroli would like him to do. Gloob, Julian, and Jakob each were approached separately by Eldon, asked the same question of what they thought about Bartholomew, and just to tell him about them, tell him about him. Received varying degrees of cooperation in the answering of that question. But they finally arrived back at the Lizardfolk lair and were informed by Eleander Fairbrand that in discussions with Otho Kent that some of their reward had been determined, that they would be able to pick from some magical items that had been looted from the fortress itself. Some of them were never being put on the table and were going to be strictly kept by the Lizardfolk, whereas whatever they didn't pick would go elsewhere. So ultimately deciding on the Hunter's Coat for Gloob, the Slumbering Dragon Vessel for Bart, the Cloak of the Manamary for Julian, and the Figurines of Wondrous Power, Golden Lions, for Jakob. They took these items. Eleander let them know that what monetary compensation we are able to secure for you will be determined once I have had a chance to resume communication with the rest of the Council of Saltmarsh once we return. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to muster up after the costs of this conflict, but we will do what we can.
I mean, hey, don't worry about it too much. I mean, there's a whole lot of rebuilding that needs to get done. Right? So,
right, but worry about it a little bit.
That was our intention, yes. So, I imagine we will speak again once we arrive in Saltmarsh. Until then, do your best to relax and unwind. It's been
Bart just
it's been trying. It's been
just
some
hears
trying time.
it like echoing in his brain.
What?
Will do. And y'all try to do the same.
That is the
I
plan.
do have one question for you, Firebrand.
Yes.
If it be possible, I know you've spoken about mages who were able to identify these magical items.
Yes,
we had found a sword in off of the Swahagan General.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make sure that it was safe. I know there's some magics that can be detrimental, and I want to make sure that it's safe for me to use before wielding it.
Well, sure, I believe that could be done. Marcus kind of turns and shouts off to one side, and there's a figure kind of standing off. There are guards around, and there's a robed, very wizardly looking figure kind of off to the side who'd been kind of watching as you guys picked and chose over between your items. Comes over, like, yes, sir. I believe I have. It's been some days. I believe I can do so. Sure. He says, if you bring the blade out and lay it on the table for me, please.
All right, I'll put my gloves on and then ask for the bag of holding from Gloob.
Open it up for you. Open it up wide. Go for it.
Recall the sword.
Swink. All right, pull out this big ass sword and place it on the table. Yes, this is quite the weapon. One moment. And he kind of pulls a book out from inside his robes and flips through it and starts, chanting some arcane words and drawing his finger through the air, tracing arcane sigils in this kind of bright blue light in the air before ending. And as these sigils kind of fall down and rest upon the sword for a moment, before fading away. He stands there for a moment, seems to be kind of eyes glanced up into the kind of off to one side up in the corner, just kind of looking at nothing as he just kind of mouths to himself. Well, this is interesting weapon. It's magical, of course. It probably a bit more durable and do a little more damage than standard bear. In addition, it appears that you can launch some magical icy waters from it a limited number of times per day to attack things at range. Very, very useful, I would imagine, to the right individual if you were dexterously challenged or so. But quite useful.
Thank you very much. I will unsling the greatsword off of my back and kind of look at it. Well, we've had some good times. Appreciate everything you've done for me. And I'm gonna hand it to Gloob or put it in the bag of holding if he still has
you take that. Fine, just put it in there.
Keep that. I mean, you can put that on your wall or something, or hell, I'll put it on my wall sometime if I settle down. That's the first great sword of Jacob the Great, I guess. Probably.
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of it. My wife would kill me. She's the one who got it for me, so
there you go.
Definitely gonna keep that safe. But I also know that as much as I love this sword and as much as this sword's done us good, this sword will be able to do more good.
Okay. If you would like to add the Tide Splitter Blade to your inventory.
All right. Such a cool name.
I thought so. Thank you. But the specific, if there's any questions on how that works, I worded it as best I could. It is a little odd, but if you need any clarity, just let me know.
All right.
So, well, gentlemen, unless there's anything else I can do for you at this time, I believe I'm going to imbibe on some of that relaxation, at least to a degree. Paperwork is much less taxing.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Do you know where the Manan are?
I believe
Irdelon, Oceanus?
They should be departing here before too long, but they were on the side of the camp closer to the water. Somewhere over there, I believe, is where they were getting together. But they, as well as the other allied forces that are seabound, will be, I believe, making their way back here before too long.
Okay. I have one other question before we get out of here.
Yes.
I'll reach down into the bag of holding and pull out the blunt trident. We found this. I don't know if it's significant in any sort of way, but we found it down in the base.
Yes.
It I don't know. It was different, and I'm showing them the blunted trident.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you have any idea what this is for, or what it might be for?
Which room was this that you found it in?
I'll look to Julian. I think there were just a bunch of weapons on the wall, right? Other tridents and stuff.
That
a shiny rock.
That's the room that when you guys went back through it, it looked like it was still propped open. There had been a secret door in there.
Oh.
I was like, where was it that you located this trident? It looks fairly plain to me, but I could look into it if it seems important.
Julian will give a very general description of.
First you took a right, then went straight, left right after that, so on and so forth.
I may have some records within the reports given to me. I do not have them here with me this time, but I can look through the reports.
Is Krashnell still in the room?
Yeah, he's in there. He's just kind of stood off to the side, just kind of watching as everything goes on.
Krashnell, it was by that room. I mean, I assume you know about it. It was a secret room. built off to the side, or there we found a couple of rags and stuff.
Well, I couldn't say why the purpose of the trident itself, but the room was there. Perhaps it was used. It was how their method for opening and closing it. I don't know if they made any changes to it. I couldn't tell you specifically. We did not have such things when it was still our home.
Okay. I want to go get this, and I'm gonna pull up the trinket of Sokola, the Maw of Sokola.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go give this to Mirtalon?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Let's stop asking these questions before I learn something dark about the lizard folk that I don't want to know.
So y'all exit with
Yeah.
your new shinies.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them if you're Jakob. Anyway.
Duds.
All right. So y'all kind of troop your way on over to the ocean side of the camp. Sure enough, it looks like you can see the Manon, the sea elves that are still standing after the battle. Seem to be packing up, and you see kind of up at the front, Mirtalon, Dordana, his wife, as well as Oceanus, kind of talking amongst themselves. Mirtalon still kind of got the double-bladed scimitar, like still resting in the crook of his good arm, even though he doesn't have the other one, but still holding on to it.
Yeah, Glue will just straighten up his hat, walking up. King Mirtalon?
I am looking. I'm just the chieftain of my people, Purple Frog. Hello.
Chieftain Mirtalon. Oceanus, it's good to see you. Glad you.
How are you doing? Yeah.
Hey, you know. We got a gift for you from deep within this Wahagan base. And Glue,
I love gifts.
on behalf of myself, Bart, Jakob, and Julian here, the tribe, to you and the people of the Manon, and I'll give them the trinket of the Maw of Sokola.
Just kind of spins his scimitar and stabs into the ground to where it stands, and since he only has the one good hand, he just kind of takes it and looks at it, kind of holding it up into the moonlight. Ah, a trophy of representative of the beast. This will do nicely. Make a good centerpiece, maybe on the table.
Good for your storytelling back home.
Yes. Extra proof of its existence. I like it. Thank you.
Now, this was actually the one they were using on their strategy map.
Ah, he's the representative of the beast. I see.
Right.
Even better.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
If anyone deserved it, it's you.
Ah. Well, if there had not been anybody to cut off the head, then it may not have mattered, even if we killed the beast. Their general is formidable in both tactics and battle, from what I understand. So, thanks to you as well. All parts are required to keep the machine moving. No, don't worry about it.
What's a machine?
I just saying I heard one time. Not quite sure myself, but makes sense. Yep.
Must be an underwater thing.
Possibly, but we're underwater, and I'm still not totally sure. But whatever.
So
It's just a saying, you know.
Like a mollusk or like a snail or something, like a machine.
I don't know.
Not like an elf.
Maybe it isn't like when all the soldiers in the line have to be working in tandem for it to be most effective. I'm not sure.
Okay.
They also said you have to oil it very well, and I'm really weirded out on. I don't know. Most people don't ask questions when I use when I use the saying, but I'm not quite sure myself.
All right, fair enough. Sure. Well, I hope y'all I mean, if you're departing here soon, I hope y'all have a safe journey. And I understand that, you know, there are all kinds of folks out there that were able to send messages magically.
Indeed.
If y'all have some folks in there, you want to meet each other, they could send me some messages if you're not able to, if they've seen me before.
Wonderful. We can do my lovely wife is one such. She coordinates those efforts. She kind of nods. Yes, I do. I will keep you in mind. Do not worry.
Oh, well, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Well,
Always good to keep in touch.
we should be back before too long. We'll return home and put things at home to rest and more normalized. But we will be back for some more formalities and paperwork, I am sure. But Firebrand assures me it is very necessary for Keeland to make restitutions or whatever. So we will be there for that.
All right.
Well,
Safe travels to you as well. Thank you.
Blue will shake Oceanus's hand. He will give King Myrtilon a big bow with his hat, with his hat down, and then I'll take the Queen's hand, bow to her, and kiss her hand.
He says, "Oh, well, Myrtilon, you have not done that in a very long time. My love, that is. Stop making me look bad." Just kind of stage whispers at you, Gloom.
Throwing my hat back on and walking away.
And then she just kind of turns and just kind of her nose in the air. She kind of walks away, and Myrtilon's just like, oh, it's good evening, and she's like power walking after her. But all right, oh shit. Well, that was some shit, huh?
Right. Well, I mean, don't ever say we can't show you a good time up here on land.
Oh yeah, they keep that in mind. Hopefully, not to this extent. That sucked. Quite frankly, very scary.
Yeah.
Big shark, mouth very large. 2 of them.
Right.
Not a fan.
I've had nightmares about sharks before, ever since, we were on that boat.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't imagine having no offense, Julian, having to dodge one mouth, and then here comes another mouth going to
it's pretty bad.
Pick up the rest.
Yep, not good. That's good. Very touch and go there for a while, and after my dad lost his arm, I was really worried, but we were able to power through it.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys won. None of you are dead. That's good.
Yeah.
Not for lack of trying.
So I'd be really confused if they just let you go without any issue. That'd be really weird.
I mean, as far as the stories are concerned, got out of there without a scratch.
Yep, of course. What's the point otherwise? Wonderful. Well, I'm glad to see that all of you are in one piece. Going in there by yourself is very dangerous. Brave, but dangerous.
I mean, there's these guys who did the lion's share of the work. I just tried to make sure they stayed on their feet.
Somebody's got to do it, yeah?
Indeed.
Well, I imagine I'll be returning as well. Somebody's got to, as well.
Right.
If he's just lazing about, he'll get fat, and then he won't even be able to do anything anymore. His armor won't fit. Got to keep him running. Swimming, maybe.
There's far worse things in life than putting on a few pounds, okay?
Oh, but when you're a warrior.
That's just more cushion for blows.
Oh.
Your common's gotten so much better since that broom closet on the boat.
Yeah, I've been practicing a lot. Fast learner.
I mean, that's been quite some time ago.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Speaking of, you should definitely avoid those pirate-looking type of folk.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it wasn't exactly on purpose the first time, but it's kind of happened.
That's fair.
Well, as my father said, we will be returning shortly-ish. We'll see how long that actually takes. I don't feel like standing around in rooms while people more important than me just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. That's all it's going to be. But I've been told I gotta be there, especially only one arm. A little bit of a problem doing things. Kind of need some help.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having to, being there for family.
Yeah, everybody needs a right hand man.
It is left hand, but he's a very, very proud individual. Yeah. Oh well. But they'll be back anyway. In the meantime, safe travels. I still struggle a little bit. Yeah. And party hard, I believe, is the saying once you get back to Saltmarsh. There's a lot of steam to blow off,
Yeah, well, I mean, you try to find some good times too. Maybe find you a nice lady. Bring her back up if she wants to have some good food. You look me up. I'll treat her to a nice meal. 2 of you.
Is that? I will do that. That is a very good idea. This is kind of thing. Be seeing you all. So he looks over his shoulder and like his people are actively moving. Oh wait, oh shit! I got to go. Bye. Just kind of trots off.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah. Oh. I hope that cow guy is still awake. If not, I'm gonna go wake him up. I'm gonna go get my bird.
Shit.
It's been like a week. You just never went and got your bird. Y'all made it all the way back from where y'all were back to the lizard folk lair. It took him a while to get over there in the first place. I remember y'all traveled with him for a good bit.
Oh, I thought he was staying here. That was the whole point. Like, of leaving.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Yeah. I can remember.
Yeah.
I forget. Because that's where he was based.
He was staying here. I was going to keep my bird safe, so I came back.
Nah, he's been on the front lines.
Cow guy was fucking mean cows on either side.
Woo!
Battle bird.
He's got the bird on one shoulder. He's actually a Beastmaster Ranger with cows.
Sick.
Anywho.
So that fight would have
Your
turned
bird
out
now
pretty
has a body
crazy if we use those cows for bait and they just turn around and just like hoof somebody for like 4d4 or something.
It's like, holy shit. All right,
Oh
so
god.
you go chat with the cow guy.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell if he moved the entire time you were gone. He looks to be about in the exact same pose, kind of hands on top of his stomach while he's sitting there watching the cows. Melvin's like is perched nearby.
Melvin looked good.
Melvin looks good. Cow goes, hello, you're back.
Yep.
That's good.
I'm gonna look at Melvin. He treat you okay?
Fuck!
There you go. I'm gonna give the guy 10 gold. I'm gonna take Melvin and leave.
Thank you. Pockets the 10
I'm gonna
gold.
give him some more gold.
Oh man. All right, so you take Melvin. Melvin appears to have picked up some swine-related cursing in his time, and much more mumbled like, "Fucking goddamn cows, and horns, they're kicking." Like,
Wonderful.
so from his regular like screeching curses to like imitating the low kind of all together word verbiage of the cow guy.
Now that's good cussing for sneaking. So when we gotta be quiet,
fucking
you
cows
can
and
do
their
that.
horns, they stab you in the.
Exactly. I would pull him out of his cage, obviously, and just throw him up on my shoulder.
All right, he perches there,
It's the return of the bird. Julian's
kinda-
got that RBF.
pecks you in the side of the head just a little bit, not like super hard, but just kind of like a dink.
Just sit there feeding him. And that's my night.
All right. Well,
Where are we sleeping at tonight? We're sleeping on the boat.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Did the boat come back?
Oh,
boat
did
never
the
le-
boat come back?
oh yeah, y'all did
Did they
donate
use
it,
the-
didn't you?
Yeah, I forgot that we donated it.
Shit.
Well, he said if they need it, they could take it. I don't know if they took
I
that.
don't think
When
they.
will you learn?
Yeah, because it was a smaller boat. I don't think they didn't end up using it.
All right.
Because the big fleet distraction kind of needed to be bigger boats. So it's still tied up, docked where y'all left it.
Nice. I definitely don't want to use that in character, but I'm glad we have it.
You don't want to use it? What? What do you mean? All right.
Well, I guess we'll get our stuff and get it packed down in the boat.
All right.
And well, I reckon we should say our round of goodbyes before we leave. I don't know how much Crush Neil and Ushrak and all those fellows are going to want to see us, but
Guess we'll find out.
yeah, I guess we'll find out.
You go visit with the lizard folk.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say relatively easy to find them. Kroshnil returned from being Uthakent's representative. Druzak Oshraku, presumably kind of having earned their way back into, at the very, if not the good graces, the acceptable graces of the Queen with their time spent as bodyguards to the emissary, as well as presumably proving themselves in battle. Separately, you'd probably be able to get a hold of Druzak and Oshraku first, who don't speak common.
I will.
If you recall.
I will translate.
Sure. Fine. They're like
Oh,
in
yeah,
like a
just-
barrack style room.
Yeah. Well, it's good to. They're uninjured for the most part, right?
Yeah. Looks like they probably got beat up, but nothing that looks particularly debilitating. Will be like long term. Looks like they've definitely earned some more scars.
Right. Well, I mean, it's good that y'all made it out and had a honorable fight. And I'm happy y'all are living to tell the tale. Just kind of looking over Julian. Or, I mean, not Julian. Jakob, sorry. And letting him translate. Like, not knowing he was going too fast.
Yeah. Goes through Jakob and comes back. As are we glad that you made it through as well. We have earned our place back among the tribe.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm elated to hear that.
Indeed. Perhaps still low on the totem pole, but back home is
Well,
good.
Yeah, I mean, baby steps, right? A little bit here, a little bit there.
Indeed. We will be relocating, presumably.
Oh, yeah? You going back to the sunken temple?
That remains to be seen. Details have not been shared with us.
Oh, so y'all just kind of moving to have a more secluded location, I reckon?
Perhaps larger, if nothing
Oh.
else. Where you understand, the fortress much bigger than where they are currently residing. They've been kind of squished while they were
Gotcha.
here.
Well, I mean, just keep in mind, keep your eyes on the sky, because there's that black dragon to deal with.
I'm sure that the Queen is taking this into account.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She seems like a real capable leader.
They just kind of dip in their heads like, yep,
Your tower's a bit more wet than it used to be.
So we saw.
Well, I mean, lizard folk can kind of breathe underwater a real long time, can't they? They got,
Indeed.
I mean, it shouldn't
Not
be too big of a deal.
indefinitely, but for some time.
Well, I mean, it was good having a journey with you, fighting by your side, and I'm glad you're okay. Be careful if you gotta fight a dragon, and if you ever
want to come on and have some more cooking, we'll probably be somewhere in the Saltmarsh or somewhere nearby.
It was good to learn more of you and your people.
If y'all ever need assistance for anything, you know where to find us.
That's right.
I'm sure that will be kept in mind. We shall see.
Honor to the queen. I'll leave.
Just kind of nods.
I will mimic
Lizard.
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 That's
That
wrong.
hurts.
Oh man. But I would also be able to meet with Croshneel as well if there's anything specific y'all would like to say to him, or if it's just more of the same.
Yeah, probably just more of the same. Just wishing them well.
Yeah.
Open invitation to come visit.
Global asked Croshnell, has there been a formal alliance been made?
None standing. But there will be talks, apparently. We shall see. Firebrand said he could not negotiate fully, as it was not within his authority.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck on any talks that may come up. I think ultimately it might be a good thing.
We shall
in case
see.
anything like this happens again.
Hopefully not. Not for some time, anyway.
Yeah, that I can definitely agree on.
Yep.
Good luck and safe travels.
Same to you.
May you find much more fortune in your futures. Our people are indebted to you, even if the Queen will not admit it.
Hey, we're just helping out.
We hope you find a new home.
It will require some searching.
If you need help, I mean, I don't know what good I could do. Maybe some halfling folk want to come out and live with some lizard folk at some point.
It's kind of squints, kind of lizard perplexion. I'm not sure how well that would go, but perhaps one day.
Hart says, I know a few halflings you can eat.
That's not what I was getting at.
Bart over there like, what? Who are all the undesirables back in Gilbin?
Jeez.
Oh God. Anywho. Unless there's anything else you guys would like to do tonight.
I think I'm good.
Okay.
I'd like to give another shot at one of the Heronius Fests.
Go ahead. Roll another d20 plus your dex.
15.
15. Okay. It's coming out kind of a little better than that frog you did, but it is very distinctly a hand with a lightning bolt in it.
Kind of like a Mickey Mouse hands, though.
Like I said, it's probably with these. It's just like it's a lot more sharp edges than if you'd been able to whittle it to be more realistically hand shaped. But it's definitely hand, definitely a lightning bolt.
Nice.
So now I guess the next question, gentlemen, as you take to your night, do y'all intend to sail back to Saltmarsh?
We would talk to the group about this. Probably this night, seeing that we might potentially sail out. He'll speak up. There's something that I need to do. It's at the edge of the marshes. It's a couple days travel from here. Not too far from where me and you first met, Bart. It's maybe a day and a half or two east of here.
All right.
We can sail up the coast a bit, and then I can go from there, and then meet y'all back at Saltmarsh.
No, that's all right. We can go with you.
Yeah, we wouldn't leave you to go through the marshes on your own.
I've done that plenty, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Just kind of like, it didn't go so great last time.
Says, because you've done it before doesn't mean you need to keep doing it.
Fair enough.
All right. So
I will. Bart will lean his head back and pull one of his fingers into the side of his mouth and show where he's missing one of his back teeth. Yep. Yeah, I took a nice kick to the face from a mule about 20, 30 years ago on a stupid drunken dare. Done it before. Don't want to do it again.
My goodness. All right. So, what is y'all's plan?
We're going with glue.
Until Gloob says stop.
Yeah.
So, are y'all sailing up? Because if you're going, so you're trying to sail it up through the marshes. Let me see here.
This would be out just like on the edge of the marsh and the sort of plains that go to the river where Bart found me.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was saying I thought we were following the coast until we got closer to where you're trying to get into this part.
Yeah, closer to the edge of the marshes, and then we can just march east from there.
We would need to come back for the boat because that was not our
Okay.
boat.
So,
Look,
where you were found, I don't know if y'all still have your copies of the map, but if you look at the stream,
mhm.
kind of pulled it up here. We can ignore the red circle and dots; those are no longer relevant. But I still the version of the map that I have here. So, if y'all see where base 1, this is where y'all are currently.
Right.
And where you were located, as you see that river that was up by Saltmarsh.
Yeah.
That is that's the river where you were found by Bart.
Right. So we wouldn't need to sail far. It would just be to the edge of the whole marshes right there.
Right.
And then march kind of
Inland.
parallel to where he found me, on the edge of the marshes there. So maybe like a day over and a day up.
Right. So, sailing over,
North.
marching up inward to kind of roundabouts parallel to where he found you, and then you guys would go back. Okay.
Right, to the boat.
Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty.
I always forget this fucking map is oriented weird, so
It is weird.
Yeah, that's.
I
just
was
typed in
saying
the
marching
chat
east. It's marching north.
to the
Yeah.
Zorth.
To the Zorth, yes. We're traveling to the Zorth, yeah. North along the edge of the whole marshes, though. And
Sure.
I'd like to, if everyone's following in tow, then I would like to use my birthday 20 to find a familiar place to me, a burial ground just north of here on the edge of the marshes.
Okay.
The last thing I left in the marshes before Bart found me. I just like to use my my birthday 20 to find that place as quickly as possible and just march straight there without issue.
Okay.
If possible.
I don't see any reason why not. Y'all are at a level of power that once you are no longer within the marshes, even going along the edge, things that are frequent the edge of the marshes aren't going to be particularly threatening to you. So I will not waste our time with it. Especially if while you're sailing, you're kind of hugging the coast. You're not going out far enough to find anything big enough to be a danger to you either. So, leaving that next morning, you're able to spend your day sailing under the direction of one Juliana Rossi, your resident expert on the matter. Spending just about the full day getting yourself right up to the edge of the marshes before anchoring yourself in such a way that hopefully nobody will steal it.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up. But just kind of deciding to take that chance. You'll be able to spend probably a couple hours that evening getting a little further inland before making your camp. The next day, full day's travel, getting further inland, trying to locate this place. That birthday, using your birthday 20 for your survival check with ease. It's burned into your memory. It's even if nothing around it particularly stands out, you can picture it exactly as it is. You're able to find it as you come into this second evening, just the way you left it.
So Gloob, just sort of marching with purpose for the entire thing, but eventually slows down a little bit. Probably marching just a few paces ahead of you guys. Will step up to this this place a little bit into the marshes, not far from the few trees that are there. He steps in, and there's a raised patch of ground, and on this raised patch of ground, nature is just sort of blossoming here, where a lot of the marshes are just kind of dreary and whatnot. There's just mosses and a bit larger stumps and things like that. And in the middle of all of it, there is a fairy ring of mushrooms just growing around. And he sort of gets up to it, and he slumps his backpack off and goes in and grabs his book. He forgets for just a moment that he has friends there. He walks up to this, and he finds a familiar stump and just sort of sits on it, looking there. Probably be a long pause of just quietness, just staying silent for a good amount of time, looking at this place. Sorry it took me so long to come back. Found some really good friends. A new tribe. A new crew. Just like you said I would. I got to Saltmarsh. It's not as great as we thought it would be. But it's still pretty good. Wish you could see it. I got good friends. I got Bart. He does magic. Good magic. He heals people. He saved me that night. I got Yak. He's really strong. He's nice too. I got Julian. Julian's a good captain. Like I want to be. Like you said, I miss you. Gloob will call over his shoulder and say, I'd like to introduce y'all to my best friend.
Yeah, Bart will definitely head on up over there and just kind of throw a arm around Gloob's shoulder. Nice to meet him.
Her name is Melia.
That's a real beautiful name.
Yeah. Julian walks over. He just kind of takes a knee, facing the center of the fairy circle and addresses the circle directly and just,
You've got a good friend. Thank you for lending him to us for a while.
Yeah, he's a pretty good guy. Couldn't ask for a better friend. Keeps her boots out of the fire too deep.
Yeah, wouldn't be here without him.
kind of putting a light hand on both Bart and Jakob's shoulders, but like,
Let's talk about dinner. We'll leave you to it, Gloob.
kind of like gesture to get the others to give Gloob a little bit more personal time.
We'll be over here if we need us.
Blue will sit there and, with the book in his hand, and sort of go into his coat pocket and bring out the silver strands once more. He'll sit there and, instead of reading the book, he will recite the stories of all the adventures that they have been on. And he will tell her everything that has happened since he stepped out of the marshes and met Bart and Julian and Jakob in the tavern. The story of the haunted house and how it wasn't haunted, but then all of a sudden it actually fucking was haunted. He will tell the story of going out into the abbey, of the lizard folk, of Old Thousand Teeth, King Myrtilon, Oceanus, Firebrand. He'll tell her about Balin, swear to her that he was the worst. He'll think about telling her about Balin, and then he'll stop, actually. He won't do that. He'll just say, I've been trying to make sure that bad people don't keep getting away with it. Sorry I wasn't stronger. And he'll just lay there, right beside the ring.
Okay. As you lay there and the night carries on, there's a faint breeze just kind of blows through that area over you and past you and just smells so very little of the marsh, carrying that fresh scent of wildflowers and fresh water, not mucked up by the marshes themselves. And just for a brief moment, just with your eyes closed, it's like you're somewhere completely different. But it's for just a moment. The wind passes, and your night carries on. If there's anything anybody else would like to do tonight.
Julian didn't have anything to actually talk about. That was just to get the others over.
Right.
But Julian will be staying up, just kind of stoically standing off to one side, waiting on Gloob.
Yeah, I'll help or help get camp set up as best as you can. No dome quite yet. Just kind of waiting to see what Gloob's gonna do, and go ahead and prepare some food and give him time.
Yeah. No need to go over the nitty gritty, but if there's anything you would like to be doing, Jakob?
I'll stand watch as well for Gloob and I guess pass the time with Whittling.
Glue. Do you stay out there all night?
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay there. If it's nighttime, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, it's the evening.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sleep there.
So, the night passes. Stand watch for Gloob, however long that you may. Night passes. Coming a morning with nice, beautiful sunrise on the horizon.
We'll be up pretty early, dressed in his finest. He will clean the area up and just sort of take his froggy fingers and like lightly brush off the mushrooms and stuff. I'm gonna make sure to visit every chance I get, at least once a year. Hopefully more. I'm gonna turn over to the rest of the party and say thank you, all of you.
Not a problem.
Of course.
Good visit.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Start walking back.
Okay. Spend the better part of today turning back to where y'all moored the boat, unmolested, from what you can tell. Doesn't seem to be missing anything. Doesn't appear to be missing.
Nice. Along the way back, I'll ask Gloob, what was she like?
What's that?
What was she like? Melee, right? That's what you said her name was?
Malia. Yeah. She was. I don't know. I don't know how you describe someone like her, Malia. She was funny. She taught me how to prank people. She taught me how to read. She taught me how to hide.
Was she from your tribe?
No. Something that beautiful couldn't come from there. She told me about where she came from. It was a wild place. Somewhere far from here, she said.
Sounds like a really good friend.
She was. She was.
Well, when someone passes, you gotta carry on for them. And you're doing a real good job. I want you to know that.
Thanks, Bart.
Anytime. Also, I figure this tribe needs a good name. Melee's a pretty good one. Melee's tribe? Sound pretty good?
You don't have to do that.
Oh, come on. It's a beautiful name.
I agree with Bart. As long as it's all right with you.
Yeah.
Whatever you think would do her the best justice. Would honor her appropriately.
Yeah.
You can think on it. Oh, man. Well, I know one thing. When we get back to that boat, get some nice water in it, cause looking kind of pale there.
I don't know if I like that joke part.
I just mean you were out all night without your water. Is all I'm saying. It wasn't a joke.
I'll be fine. Thanks
Killian
again.
and Gloob can be exhausted together.
All right. So, are you gentlemen making your way back to Saltmarsh?
I hope so. No more detours, please. Let's get back to land.
Without delay. Another 2 days of quiet, calm seas. Find yourself back, pulling into the harbor of Saltmarsh. Still, even with your detour ahead of Saltmarsh's forces, due to their number. Pulling into dock, a small boat among mostly only small boats at this time, aside from Hill's larger vessel, or the larger vessel. And there are still guards all over the place. Looks like maybe they haven't necessarily gotten the stand down as of yet, but it's odd how little seems to have changed here compared to how much has changed. Y'all been gone for a while. Y'all been gone for about a month at this point, between traveling with the army there and back, time spent elsewhere. Close on a month since y'all left last.
Well,
We tell them the news? They believe us? They might not believe us.
I don't know. Let's see how many weird looks we get.
Yeah, there's that too.
All right.
I don't know. We could always go see what Zendros is up to. I'm pretty sure she's going to be happy to see us. Probably disappointed that we got them magic items looked after.
Yeah.
I mean, we could always just not tell her about it.
Well, I mean, we could still go see her. She might have some more healing potions.
That's true.
I just want to have a sit down in the snapping line tonight, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I'm not getting on that damn boat again.
I will probably sleep on the boat if it hasn't been, I don't know, commandeered.
Right. All right. So are y'all going to see Zendros?
I would like to.
All right. Sorry, editing a little bit of our soundtrack. But all right. So y'all make your way over. It's still about midday. If you got there maybe an hour after or so. But Zendros hasn't changed too much. Hasn't seemed to grow more concrete since y'all last left, but still more concrete than it started out. Open tent flaps. Easily able to walk in, where you see the familiar guys of Captain Zendros, boots up on a table, just kind of idly picking at her fingernails with a dagger. Well, hello. It has been some
yourself.
time.
Yeah, that's right. We come back victorious. And
really?
Hopefully, with you having a nice celebratory inventory for us to pick through.
Oh, well, times as they are, but I was able to pick up a few new things, but... Well, don't you all look dashing? For little worse for wear, little... Gloob, I see you've picked up something little new. It looks like your armor looks fabulous. And your sword, Jakob. Very nice.
Appreciate you.
Well,
Gloob's always been the best dressed of us.
Any return letters?
I agree.
Kind of bursts in.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Lube steps back and says, "Yeah, this part."
Actually, no. Surprisingly enough, they didn't have very far to go, but I have received no word back.
Neither of them.
No, neither. No.
All right.
Did you get them there?
Yes, they made it to the where I was asked to deliver them.
Did you see the people take them?
No, I did not go personally myself. I had them delivered. I assure you that my contacts are reliable.
So you know they went to the right people then? They didn't just deliver them to like the residents and leave, right?
I mean, I could not ensure that they went exactly to the hands for whom they were meant, but they did their best. I only have so much to go off of, you understand.
Oh, I mean, I understand. I just didn't know what the...
I can assure you they made it to their intended destination, if not their intended recipient.
Right,
Probably just taking extra time.
Entirely possible.
It's a lot to take in.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
My wife's a busy woman, so probably got wrapped up in something.
I'm sure. So, are you looking to purchase or to sell today? Or just to visit?
Probably be to purchase.
Yeah, I mean, if you got anything new, I mean, we're more than happy to take a peek at it. And we might have some more money coming in the next couple of days anyway, when the rest of the folks get back.
Fantastic. Well, I have not acquired, so I've still been relatively immobile. But with my time spent here, I was able to get a few odds and ends, and some of which I'm sure that you will be interested in, as they are of the remedial properties. So, we'll start with those first. And
real
pulls
quick,
out
did you find one of them bottles of endless water?
I have not as of yet, no.
All right. I'll just go ahead and get it out of the way. Let's give you
Understandable.
a wink.
Appreciate you.
I have, in my downtime and as the militant occupants of this town have been away, I have been able to stockpile a few of your favorite goods to purchase in the form of healing potions. I have 3 of the more potent variety that you've purchased previously of 125 gold pieces, and 4 of the more common variety at 60 gold apiece.
All right.
We should perhaps wait to see what our payment is going to be.
Oh, very well. Don't dilly-dally too long. Many people can find use for them. So, on to the more interesting items I have. Pulls out a silver rod that seems to have a little button on either end of it, covered in runic script. Places it on the table. It's not about the size like a pencil. This. Well, when you click it, and she just does so and lets go, and it just stays hanging right there. It does as advertised. You click it and it will take massive amounts of force to move it anywhere. Use it to hold things up, use it to hold things down, use it to hold things shut. Its versatility is endless.
What happens if a boat runs into it?
I don't know. Depending on the size and weight of the boat, maybe it'll move, maybe it won't. Kind of have to try and find out. Maybe it'll punch a hole through the boat. Small hole, but depending on where it is.
Do you mind it? You mind if we test it?
In what manner?
Just, Yakov's a pretty beefy fella. He could probably give it a yank, see if it's worth its money.
Sure, go right ahead.
It's not going to break it or anything, is it?
Not to my knowledge, and if you do, you'll pay for it anyway.
All right.
All right.
Oh no.
Well, Yakov, if it seems like it's going to give, let go of it or something, because I don't even know how much this costs. How much is it before we do this?
1,000 gold pieces. It is quite useful, you must understand.
You know
and
what?
Versatile.
These prices don't even shock Julian anymore. He's just like, yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Magic expensive.
Indeed.
His first time shopping here was the first time he'd seen prices like that, though. So he was probably, what in the hell?
Yeah. Julian wasn't a frequenter of Captain Zendros' shop previously.
Yeah.
So, Yakov, are you trying to yank it?
Those first viewing prices made him clutch his pearls.
With the 13.
Oh.
Is that's your strength check?
Yeah, I got an 8.
Oof.
8 plus 5.
It goes,
so unless you want it to be an athletics check.
I mean, yeah, I'd say it just says strength. I don't see why it couldn't be an athletic strength check. Sure.
19.
Still doesn't move. You he just hauls on it as hard as he can, and it does not budge even an inch.
Yeah, that's stuck there pretty good.
Yakov, you look like you're acting. I mean, this can't really be. Luke like lifts himself up.
Yeah, you're just hanging on it like.
Okay.
Lex is advertised.
You just have this one?
Just the one, yes. People tend to hold on to them when they get them. So, you understand. Aside from that, on the more cheaper, and I know at least one of you use, I believe it's you, Julian, you like to shoot things with your little bow, right? Well, something that may interest you, and she pulls out a small quiver of arrows and lays them. It's like, well, these are each enchanted of their own. Little enchantment of their own makes them pierce a bit better, fly a bit truer. Very useful. I only have 10, but you never know when every shot can count. These would be selling for 25 gold pieces per arrow. These are +1 magic arrows.
I figured.
Just wanted to make sure that was clear.
He looks interested.
Alright. I also have this very interesting rope. She pulls in his. You can use its command word to cause it to extend, wrap around things from a distance, or all kinds of things. It can be, if you are down at the bottom, you can send it up, tie onto something. You can command it to release once you're all the way down at the bottom so you don't lose it. Also, quite durable. But this will only be about 200 gold pieces.
And you say that thing can like fly up to something and grab
Yes.
grab a hold of it?
Maybe not instantaneously, but it will get there, yes.
Well, how slow does it go?
Let me tell you. It is a rope of climbing, for
Right.
record.
If it's just like
I'm trying to remember.
like that's not really worth it. but
It's
if I
60
can,
foot
like,
of silk rope, weighs only 3 pounds, can hold up to 3,000 pounds. If you hold one end of the rope and use an action to speak the command word, the rope animates. As a bonus action, you command the other end of the rope to move towards the destination you choose. That end moves 10 feet. That end moves 10 feet on your turn when you first command it, and 10 feet on each of your turns until it reaches its destination, up to its maximum length away or until you tell it to stop. So it moves 10 feet around.
So in theory, if you were to take this rope and yeet as hard as you could while you say the command word, could you get some extra distance on it?
You could certainly try. But
you know, I'm just thinking of like some pitfall type kind of situation where we're getting chased by like a horde of like bad guys.
can Indiana Jones your way to
Indiana
safety?
Jones to kind of throw it up someplace.
I mean, you could certainly try.
Yeah, but I could also certainly die.
Correct. I'm not gonna say one way or the
So,
other. That'd require some
yeah.
dice, which is quite useful. Unfortunately, there's the few odds and ends. I still have that very expensive cape that I know that a lot of you are eyeing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the cape of the Mountebank. Still there.
That's 5,000 gold.
5,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, you see Julian just licking his chops as she mentions it, like,
She just kind of winks at you and goes, "I know, right?" Very sexy. So, anything that catches your fancy now, gentlemen, or wait until payday?
I mean, we're not sure how much we're going to be getting paid. So,
Well,
I'll pay for the rope of climbing.
sure. 200 gold pieces, my dear.
I figure we should probably get this before or somebody else snatches it up. We're in a port city anyways, so a rope that can do its own work is
Indeed.
probably going to be high demand.
Okay. 200 gold for the rope of climbing?
I'm sure Captain Zindros, with his
Yes.
good of repeat customers as we are, all the business we bring back and forth, both ways even, will hold on to these items for us. For at least a day.
Surely.
well, I say we can go ahead and probably get the smaller potions. I can go ahead and buy those. That's not a big deal.
All right.
You said,
As you know, 60 gold per of the smaller potions, so 240
Right,
gold for the lot.
240.
For
We don't
4
get
of
a
the
repeat
common.
customers discount. You know we're coming back to buy more
I
stuff.
know, but you already haggled me down from my standard price. I already make an exception for you.
But we're so exceptional.
I know. That's why I know you can afford it.
All right. No saviors of the city discount.
Oh, business is business, my dear.
by the way,
And if I sell you these, you may continue to save people, and I may be able to find you more things that could allow you to save more people. It's symbiotic, really.
Gives you more customers to sell to.
since it is potentially relevant and I'm sure something we could have handled earlier on.
Sure.
We got 177.9 gold exactly. If y'all wanted to split that or use it for potions or whatever.
I'm assuming you're rounding up for the silver and copper.
It was an even number of copper
It was
in
40,
the tens place.
Yeah, it was
So
40
it's 100
copper, 110 silver, and then the other stuff from the guy's pouch.
Yeah, the total was 10 platinum, 65 gold, 125 silver, and 40 copper, which comes out to 177 gold and 40 silver.
There you go.
And 9 silver. 9 silver. Jesus.
Sure. So,
177.9.
Well, I was just gonna buy them healing potions with my money.
Sure.
And divvy them out to the rest of y'all, so that we can make sure that there's a bad situation, we can keep it handled. But
all right.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and go like, all right.
Okay.
Well, you've got my money, so.
All right. Yep. So, takes 240 gold, hands over the 4 common healing potions.
No, she has my money.
Oh.
I left it there.
Oh,
remember?
you just left all your money?
I
how
left
much
it with a
did you leave
note.
with her? I can't remember
In
how
case
much you
it
left
didn't
with her.
come back.
Let me double check. I'm assuming.
I didn't leave
wrote
all of it.
down. I couldn't remember. Yeah, I couldn't remember. Did you take it when you left it? Did you take it out of your inventory?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm not gonna bother looking.
Yeah.
She would be
it's
easily like, oh yes, of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
You know, here you are.
I'll take that
subtracts.
parcel back.
Yeah,
now that I'm
takes
not
it.
dead.
Yeah, returns your parcel. You are still alive. Takes 240 gold out of it.
Yeah.
Keeps that for herself. So you just subtract that out. Anything else, gentlemen?
I know that you had delivered those letters. Would you be able to deliver one more thing? It's A little
Of
bit
course.
bigger and heavier than a letter.
Probably be a little more
Uh,
expensive, but yes.
That's fine. Gloob, can I have the sword?
Oh, wow.
I mean, you got to reach in and get it. I can't lift it.
I'll reach in and grab it. And with this, there'd also be a letter to come, but
Very well.
I'd probably deliver to you tomorrow, if that'd be possible.
Of course.
And how
That
much
will
would
do.
that be to deliver that?
Oh, for such a large parcel. What is it? About 5 gold for the letter and the distance. Going up with the weight, and I mean, well, they are efficient at the blacksmiths. So let's see. I'll just say the additional weight will come up to about. We'll say to just triple it to 15 gold for the package and the letter to go along with it.
All right, I will hand her 15 gold.
Well, wonderful. I will wait with bated breath for your letter to come along with it.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll just kind of hand the other 3 potions to the other 3 buddies and
Okay.
clink them, in case we need them.
And they're common.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
just I
each
just got
have
the
a
4
common.
common. Yeah. Before we end up doing a whole bunch of good deeds for the city and then getting like super shanked in the alleyway someplace or some wild, or crazy people who look like the barkeep come through and then just like drop 20 people dead and decide that they want to square up with us in the middle of town or something.
Right.
What do you mean? How would that ever happen?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Is there anything else you guys would like to purchase from Zendros?
Yeah, we got the rope and the 4 potions.
Yep. That's currently all that's been purchased.
All right, well, we'll be back.
Very well. I will look forward to it with utmost enthusiasm.
As everyone's kind of walking out,
One thing. I'll
Yes.
catch up with you guys.
Oh,
Wait, we're real. Hey, could that rope activate that rod if it snaked up in the air?
I'm not quite sure. I think it will just tie on to things, but I mean, maybe if you did it in a certain way. I'm not sure.
If we,
Could we test
know.
that out right now? You press the rod and then we.
Out of curiosity, you're trying to see if the rope can
If the
press the button.
rope can press the button. Like if we were to like rope goes straight up and it goes, and you press the button, and then can we like climb up, or in theory make like a zip line or something?
I
Just
will
trying
say
to be creative.
no.
Okay, fair enough. Worth a shot.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. After they are starting to head out, I'll be like,
Sure.
I forgot something. I'll catch back up with you guys in a moment.
Yes. What can I do for you?
he is going to take out a piece of paper and jot a quick special request and slide it across the table to her.
Mhm.
Do you think that you could either find this or have it made?
What does
I
it
will-
say?
It says that in Messenger.
Oh, for the love of fucking Christ. Oh, that's...
It just says Pontiac.
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
She just reads it over. I mean, I can certainly ask around. I have contacts all over the place. Not exactly my specialty, but what can I say? You are repeat customers.
He counts out 100 gold
Ooh.
onto the table and says,
Based on what I've seen things priced at before, this should cover it with plenty extra for expediency and my gratitude.
We shall see. I will see what I can find for you.
I'm sure you know the right people.
Perhaps. If they still want to talk to me. But I can always worm my way back in, it seems like. Alright.
Have a wonderful evening.
You as well.
and will rapidly catch up with his friends.
All right. So just making a note to myself. All right. So as you exit, Julian, shortly after the rest of you, where are you guys looking to go next?
Head to the line.
To the snapping line?
Yeah.
All right. So y'all are heading on that way, and as y'all are kind of getting most of the way there, probably about halfway there from Zendros to the snapping line distance-wise, when a younger man, very plain-looking, kind of long, pale face, kind of scraggly hair, maybe a bit of a widow's peak already, even though he looks like he's maybe in his mid-20s only, but in just kind of plain fisherman's garb, kind of comes hustling up to you guys like, oh, I heard that a lot of you had returned already. Could I get you all to come with me? I've a request from my father. If you guys were willing to listen.
Is
Sure.
your father Anders?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you just kind of
No
sound a lot like him.
no relation to Mr. Saltmarsh. From what I understand,
just-
Mr. Anders is a little bit more excitable and more fidgety.
All right.
just-
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm
Yeah,
just
sure.
I'm just an earnest young man.
Just an earnest young man.
Also,
Oh,
this
you
guy's
inside
older.
joke.
This guy's
Get away with
also
words, son.
this guy's also older than Anders.
Oh.
Oh, all right.
I just imagine this guy with gray hair, like, are you the son of this 20-year-old dude?
Listen, Gloom is human ages, halfling ages. That's all fucking with his mind right now.
Wonderful. If you will follow me, and he's kind of leads y'all kind of back down towards the docks. We had been kind of staking out around, that boat y'all got from those smugglers, because we figured that might be one of the first places you came from. But we heard a guard say that y'all had come back while I was eating a sandwich, and so I hadn't been paying too much attention. So I kind of missed my opportunity to grab you guys while you were still on the docks, as he's just kind of walking and talking at you guys. And leads you guys up onto your boat. I'm seeing some raised fingers.
No, that was Julian's actual
Yeah,
physical response.
yeah, he's just kind of like
okay.
So he just goes walking along the dock past it and up onto the deck of familiar ship. Still vibing along. He's like, I believe he's in the galley, and walks through that door to that familiar space where Bart has cooked y'all many a meal.
Julian will look over at Bart and Gloob and Jakob. What the hell?
If we would be really easy targets if someone just wanted to lead us, and we just followed this guy here.
I mean, that's our boat, honestly. So.
Yeah, I mean there were still guards, like there's still guards that were like patrolling the docks, like they're the two that are like on the end of the dock near y'all's boat.
I'm just saying, he could have just led us into a pit right there, where we would have died.
If y'all think this guy's fishy, I can, prepare us before we go in there.
I don't know anything about him.
Nice
He
enough.
sticks his head back out. Are y'all coming?
Insight check.
Oh,
2 plus 8, 10. Fuck.
I mean, he's just like, he just seems like he's like, are you coming? He seems kind of relatively concerned.
All right. Hey, just a fucking weird kid, I guess.
And with like kind of a hesitant, frustrated sigh, Julian will follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody follow on into the galley.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a 10, yeah. I'm like, yeah, fucking weirdo.
Y'all enter.
Red wedding shit.
And I probably shouldn't sing that on stream. I'll get in trouble. But as y'all walk in, sight that greets you is sat in one of the chairs on the table, kind of facing the door towards you guys. Can't quite judge his height as he's sitting, but has a kind of blue-green skin tone of the skin that you can see. His face and his hands. Slicked back hair, can't quite tell the length, pulled back down behind his head. But most notably are these two kind of, it looks almost like he has coral coming out of either temple, kind of arcing around relatively close to his head, around the front, and then curving up a little bit, looking almost like coral laurels are resting on the front of his head, with just these seemingly just completely black eyes, and kind of smile is kind of hanging off to one side. His clothes is Bart. It looks like maybe you guys go to see a similar stylist, as he has this long black, for the most part. You can see on the inside, on the outside, it's black with these kind of worked with silver thread in many places, as well as these kind of big cuffs that come down to the end, swooping down towards back to, imagine if he was standing back to below his knees. On the inside, this deep, dark blue, like this dark sea blue on the inside, kind of accenting that he has open a shirt that's this similarly this kind of blue-green with dark satin gray, with these dark black pants also worked with silver thread, and nice shiny black boots that come up to about his knee. That one of them is kind of, as y'all step in, he's bringing down off of the table in front of him, and he stands and spreads his hands before you as the door shuts behind you guys, and he spreads his hands. And he says, welcome. I am so glad to get to introduce myself to all of you. My name is Captain Prosper Artois, and I believe that we have some interests that we may be able to discuss. Please sit. And as he says this, you see several figures step out of the shadows farther in the back, as well as the one that closed the door behind you guys. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh no.
Holy shit. This man got the drip, though. I can appreciate that.
Anywho, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I had a lot of fun. I hope you all did as well. Thank you guys for joining all of us here tonight. Thank y'all for sticking around, those that did. I know we got some I think we had some very good moments tonight. I'm very, very pleased with how this session went. But you guys can find us here on Mondays every week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, playing this here campaign, which, like I said earlier at the start of this session, next Monday will be our 1-year anniversary of this campaign, which I'm very excited about. I'm very glad with where we ended up for coming into our anniversary session, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then on Saturdays, of course, we also have our Across Eberron campaign, which is DM'd. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong tab. By this guy right here, old John Z, aka Gloob, aka God in other universes, which has myself as well as some of these other fellows that also play in that one, as well as some other people. So that's a ton of fun. We are still in the middle of some horrible shit there, so we'll see where that goes this upcoming Saturday. So be there, be square, as they say. But yeah. Before we head out, we're gonna raid our friends over at Ink and Lyre. They do the D&D things as well, playing the TTRPG. So show them your love and support, and we will see y'all later here in a few seconds, because I didn't quite give myself enough things to say. Bye.
Bye.